Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. If you're ever in Minnesota and you run into any legal issues, please look me up. And yes, Mr. Landau, that is a solicitation. I have just solicited my services online for your viewing pleasure. Please, please don't report me to the evil ethics board again for doing something that is absolutely legal and perfectly normal. You brilliant man. Brilliant man. So, what's up, guys? Hey, welcome, Dangeresque Mustachio. Welcome to your first chat experience. I hope you enjoy it. Today's a little weird. I don't have specific topics to cover that like everybody's kind of waiting for. We're in a lot of holding patterns on various lawsuits. There's tons to cover out there, but like there's a saturation level on what I can do. So today I've got kind of a variety show, I guess, and we'll just move through it as we go. Welcome, Hamilton Burger. Welcome. Sean Thompson, I don't know why you weren't told, but I can tell you that every Friday night, just about, pretty much, unless something weird happens, every Friday night, 11 p.m. Central, this show occurs. So the live show, so put it on your calendars or whatever you need to do. But, yeah, let me, sorry guys, I'm still getting some things ready. So, what's been going on out there? It's been a wild week for me. Just trying to get all this liquor. Okay. Yeah, thanks for welcoming me to my stream, buying feet pics. I appreciate that. I have a couple quick things to do before I get started. Let's discuss Rule 12b-6. Yeah. I have a couple things to do right before we get started here. So let me do that. This is some housekeeping stuff. I got this package from Freddie Rush. I got it right before I left for Florida, but I didn't have a good opportunity to open it, and I didn't do it last week. So I wanted to make sure and open it on a stream. I don't think Freddie Rush was able to make it tonight, so unfortunately, he'll have to hopefully watch the playback later. But he sent me this thing. It's this box. I'm opening it. He did send the box, but I think it's what's in the box that's important. And Sean LaRocca, yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And Jacob Cerezia, you're next, buddy. So let's see. So this is what we've got here. This is Nick Rackett's infamous whiskey lawyer. So thank you very much, Fred Rush. It's going right here on the desk. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, pal. That's awesome. So next, I did get a package from Jacob Cerezia, which is leering over the shoulder here. This is some Kieran whiskey. This is 50% alcohol, 100 proof. Kieran whiskey from Mount Fuji. A gift from Mount Fuji in Japan. This stuff is not possible to find in the States outside of like buying it through an auction site or something online. So I'm really, really appreciative. Thank you so much for sending that to me. I'm going to open it and try it right here in just a second. And I have read good things. And so now I want to taste those good things. Smells good. And big shout out to Lady Rackets. If you remember last live stream, I had I picked up this cool earthy glass, and right when we got home from Florida, I dropped it and it broke. But Lady Rackets has repaired it. It is intact, and now I can use it without, trying to hide the broken side. It's good. It's got a little bite to it. Probably because it's 50% alcohol. Is that travertine? I have no idea. It's caramel heavy, but it's like caramel with hot peppers in it from the spiciness. So it's very, very good. And Cable Modem, you have a firm grasp on the law, my friend. I can tell. Does Boost taste different spending on what you drink it from, Nick? Yeah, depending on what you drink it from, I'm guessing. Yes, a little bit. What I've noticed is like the way the whiskey flows into your mouth from the glass it really matters. I should do whiskey reviews, but like I'm not really good at reviewing whiskey. I always just say, "Man, this is good." So, I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe. It is a Patreon goal. It is a Patreon goal. By the way, since I don't, I get the criticism of not shilling it enough. Up there, patreon.com/lawsplaining. Check it out. There is bonus content at the $5 tier. You get access to the Discord. We do weekly live chats and all sorts of stuff. Have I had bad whiskey? Yes, I have had bad whiskey. The Pocky takes away the bite. Oh, sure. Yeah. I did have some of that almond Pocky. That stuff's really good. Really good. I find Jesus' holy grail. Yes. Yes, I did. What do I think of Johnny Walker? I like Johnny Walker red and black for just, if you go to, I live in a small town. This is your first live stream, so if you don't know, I live in a small town, and the bars around here don't move a lot of high quality whiskey. So if you pay more money for a high quality whiskey that they have, it might be old, like really old, because people might not be drinking it. So the good thing about Johnny Walker Black and Johnny Walker Red is, they're probably going to be a relatively fresh bottle, and they're pretty reliable. They're not great whiskeys or anything, but they're not bad. They're tasty, and they're a good buy at a bar because they don't cost a fortune. Is the legend Russell Greer happening tonight? I don't have anything specifically planned for Russell Greer tonight, but depending on where the evening goes, he has a separate lawsuit that I have not covered. And wait, did Anthony Bourdain die? He has a separate lawsuit that I have not covered where he is suing the state of Utah to legalize prostitution, I believe on the basis that he is not able to otherwise fulfill his sexual needs. So there's that. Oh, when did Anthony Bourdain die? Oh my goodness. Suicide. I mean, that guy looked depressed, but he didn't seem depressed. Suicide at 61 in France. Left behind his 11-year-old child. God, that's awful. That is awful. Can't tell if I'm serious about what. No, man, suicide's bad. I just Fuzz Got Games. Yes, I plan on being on Twitch later. And like when suicide is really bad for the people who are left behind, right? He died in my heart when he said the only solution was to have everyone become brown and mixed race. Have you guys seen the movie Bulworth? Fantastic. Fantastic movie. Yeah, I honestly had no idea Anthony Bourdain died. Not at all. So I haven't followed any news today. Yeah. So that is sad, man. Anyway. Back to Russell Greer. So Russell Greer has an ongoing lawsuit with the state of Utah where he is trying to force the state of Utah to legalize prostitution because he asserts that he will otherwise be unable to fulfill his sexual needs. I have not read this lawsuit. I have only heard about it in rumor and legend. I plan on picking it up at some point. So, I mean, I could certainly do it tonight. What's in front of you right now, the document in front of you right now is an author who is suing other authors because she went ahead and trademarked the word cocky. So now she is suing other authors who have used the word cocky in their books. And that's how that goes. Paul McDermott. Yeah, that's the quote. Bulworth was really a good movie, and it like I never hear about it. I only ever remember it in fleeting moments. Like it's like, oh yeah, that movie Warren Beatty was in where he started rapping all the time. Good movie. So Russell's prostitution case was dismissed, and now he's appealing. Yes. Although I'm not quite sure he's appealing. But yeah. So I do plan on covering that case in the appeal at some point. But I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight. So we have the cocky lawsuit here, which is filling up the space next to me. Is that jeweler lawsuit video coming? It's not the most interesting case. Like the soundbite about offering hookers and cocaine to clients and actually to high dollar clients and high dollar sales reps. That's a funny soundbite, but the case itself is really, I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's basically a major jeweler that I believe is still in existence today, that basically stole tons of designs from other jewelers and made a bunch of money doing it. And then got sued and lost pretty heavily, but survived the lawsuits and is still going. Hookers and Blow is a real song by Ween. So, the other thing I was going to do is I was just going to pick, like I just searched for Judge Judy clips on YouTube, right? And I was going to go through some Judge Judy clips and watch them with you guys and just laugh and talk about it, I guess. But I haven't like previewed any of them, so they would be genuine live reacts. And the other one I have is the other funny video I have to kind of go through is a New York Times dramatization like of a deposition that occurred that involves a photocopier. And now someone on Reddit has been asking me to do a reaction video to this for a long time. And so I have that. What do you guys want me to start with? I'm gonna let you guys make some decisions. Yeah, Keck, where did you send those to me? Because I was looking in the Discord show research and I didn't see them there. So that was weird. Were they just in the general? Or did you sent me a private message full of them, didn't you? Were you able to make heads or tails of that settlement offer land we made to Dick? What was that all about? I have not seen that settlement offer. The information I have is the same information that you guys have. So Judge Judy. Okay. We'll do some Judge Judy in just a second. Yeah, Beverly, the Rackets Discord it's Patreon only for $5 plus patrons, and it's just because if it was just open, I would never be able to not look at it because it would be constant. It would be constantly spammed. But you're welcome to join. Hi.
Hello.
What's up?
The baby's going to bed.
Oh. Just a second. I gotta say goodnight to a baby.
Too sweet.
Okay. What?
Nothing.
What? Oh.
Andrew said hi.
Yes.
Hi, Andrew. Baby says goodnight.
So yes. Anyway. Good night, baby. So that's Lady Rackets, of course, and our little one. Yeah. Can you talk? Are you gonna talk to us? Say dada. I don't think so. She just wants to grab stuff on my desk.
To grab everything.
Yeah. Go to bed tonight. So anyway, Hamilton Burger says come back.
Hey, Hamilton Burger.
And Underdog says I am proof there's still good in this world.
Yes.
I guess. Come on. Talk, baby. Talk to me. Talk to me real quick and then go to sleep. Come on. I don't think she's going to.
She's not going to.
No. She'll talk right when she gets to bed.
Yeah. More or less.
All right. Well, good night.
Good night.
So, yeah, anyway. Oh, thanks. So anyway, we got the other kids to bed. Baby, of course, is, she entered the magical stage where she doesn't go to sleep very well at night. She's been a great sleeper all up until then. This is very law related. Oh, I didn't point out, this special edition bottle does have hashtag Maddox Lost right on there. Okay, so I was talking about the settlement. Let me talk about, you resent a couple of them in Discord PM. Perfect. So the the curator of some of these videos tonight is our friend Keck7Go, who has been asking me to live stream some of the Judge Judy videos for a long time. So we'll do some of these in just a second, but I want to talk about motion to compel talking denied. That settlement offer. The settlement offer, as far as I know, as far as I've heard, it's the same thing you guys have heard. Landau contacted Dick, said he would put together a settlement package. He's mad about his YouTube or his Google search results. And Kevin, aren't we all? Aren't we all mad about our Google search results? You know, that's just... Here, let's see here. Where'd it go? Oh, wait. Oh, man, it just does not like this. I need to figure out a... Let me get rid of this for just a second. Here we go. Weird black background Google. I think I covered this on the last live stream a little bit, but let's just be reminded of what he does not like about this. So let's see. Is that a... Let's see. Yeah, long time since I started a Patreon. So quite a ways. 6 months? 5 months? Buying feet pics. Are you... message me on Patreon. And then I'll make sure you get in the Discord. Is that a ploy to extort? Yes. So here is... here's what he doesn't like, okay? He doesn't like right here another instance of Kevin Landau lying to the court and the Reddit posts that follow. That's what he really does not like about his Google results. Because other than that, there's really, like, there's not much. Images. There's pictures of him. There he is. This guy. Pretty sure that's him. They don't have videos. Do we have videos? Like, look at this. I mean, his video results aren't even bad. I don't know what this dude's complaining about. Anyway, so that's his problem. Where did my... Whoa. All right, let me move that back here and let me get rid of this this thing. Oh my goodness. All right. Which Reddit post that somehow isn't on the top of Google? What are you talking about? Okay, anyway. Biggest Dickhead says, when I Google my name, the first result is always someone much more successful and important. So annoying. Nowadays, when I Google my name, it's me, which is kind of funny. Of course, there's always the unfortunate video that has been SEO'd out of its mind to the top of me. But, you know, that's how life goes, Kevin. That's how life goes. But so he's mad about that Google result. Kyle says, just want to give a shout out to my boy Nick running over cucks with monster trucks for Rekieta. Thanks, buddy. That's how it goes. You know, I've been thinking about, let me just rant about the lawsuit for a little bit. Thank you, Milk and Cookies Mama. I appreciate that. Let me rant about the lawsuit for a little bit because I was thinking about this. So if you guys don't know, the link should not be blocked. I don't know why it is. I have the links open on the chat, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is going on with that. I apologize. And yes, I do remember Gravedigger. And also, of course, when I was growing up, Bigfoot was the dude, the big blue Ford pickup truck. So I've been thinking about the lawsuit lately because there was that Pop Lurker fluff piece. If you guys have not read the Pop Lurker fluff piece on Maddox, I recommend giving it a read because that is the disconnect with reality that is going on in that man and his fans' heads, right? It's what Maddox, the king of the internet or whatever. Oh my gosh, it's just disgraceful. Here, let me see if I can find it. New comedy articles. So yeah, Maddox, thought leader, genius, and king. Thought leader, genius, and king. So he is still like on this kick that he is somehow the most important person on the internet. And sounds good, dangerous mustachio. And buying feet pics. So you tag me on the Reddit to the post. It's like number 3 post of all time on TDS subs. I'll check it out in a little bit. But, you know, this is this person saying Maddox is everywhere. Again, I think I read this on the last live stream that I did, but I want to hit it one more time because I want to get back to the disconnect that's going on. Because this disconnect it's unhealthy for Maddox, and his fans shouldn't be doing this because this is unhealthy for Maddox. But if the internet was a baby, and I'm going to censor some of this because that's how I do it. No, I read it on a live chat, not on live stream. Sorry. If the internet was a baby, Maddox is the one who kicked it out of its mom's gut and told it to get a job, working for him. When he started his website, The Best Page in the Universe, at age 16, it was one of the earliest article-based sites of its kind. Over 20 years later, and Maddox is still the king of the internet. With dozens of outlets and projects under his belt, there's almost nowhere you won't see him. His work and voice are distinct, edgy yet sincere, and always giving the most straightforward version of the truth. Always. I've been a reader of his work for literally 20 years. I consider him a writing mentor, and when Maddox, known in real life as George Azunian, agreed to a Pop Lurker interview, you bet your butt we made that happen. So, that's the article, okay? That's the tone of the article. It's set. It says nothing about the lawsuit in it. It's not mentioned. And then, obviously, a bunch of people asked the author, and again, don't contact this person. I'm not suggesting to do that. I tweeted one tweet at her to correct something she said that was legal, a legally related misstatement, and I wanted to make sure that we were all clear about that. But you know, I do not recommend contacting this person. They feel they are being harassed. When you do a story about someone with 288,000 YouTube subscribers who boasts weekly downloads on his podcast of 50 to 70,000 people, I don't buy that for a minute, but that's the boast. And then he's got an opposing audience of 50 to 70,000 people as well. You're going to get comments. You're going to get comments back, especially if you're a well-known site at all. The author, the writer, Lauren Stone, I believe also writes for cracked.com, stuff like that. So, you know, anyway, so the reason I bring this up is because Lauren Stone said something when a bunch of people said, why didn't you cover the lawsuit? Why didn't you talk about this lawsuit? Of course, they want to know what everybody has been wanting his story from the get-go, and he won't tell it. And Lauren Stone said that when she did the interview, the lawsuit was still ongoing. Now, I don't know why it took so long for them to publish this interview on June 6th when the lawsuit ended long before that. But whatever happened there, she said that when she did the interview, the lawsuit was still ongoing. And then she said, have you ever been in litigation? You know you can't talk about it. Okay? And you hear this a lot. It's like it's a line. We can't comment in ongoing litigation and all that stuff. Everyone can, outside of a judge's order, comment on ongoing litigation. Let's law-splain this. You can comment all you want. Obviously, people comment on ongoing litigation all the time. It's a strategic choice to comment or not comment on ongoing litigation. It's unfortunate that Maddox had a lawyer who appears to be as incompetent as they come, because had Maddox had proper advice from a lawyer who cared about Maddox, he might have been able to monetize his commentary on the lawsuit. Look what it did for, like, pure numbers. Look what it did for Dick Masterson. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month in Patreon money. Okay? Had Maddox similarly monetized his side of the lawsuit by just talking about it from time to time, he could have made money on it. He could have hit a publicity thing. When he lost, he could play the victim and talk about how unfair the court system is and how ill-equipped it is in a modern day age of cyberbullying and all that stuff. He could do all sorts of things to gin up sympathy for himself, to create a narrative that would paint him as a better person than a dirtbag. And he didn't. He didn't do that. And his lawyer maybe should have advised him. I can't say what his lawyer definitely should have done. Obviously, I'm not privy to their privileged conversations. I have no idea. But my personal opinion is if you've got someone with a giant platform and someone like Maddox, Maddox is pulling in big internet celebrities to his show. Obviously, Dick has been making fun of Chris Ray Gun and Lacey Green, people like that. Maddox has the ear of people like Tim Pool and Mundane Matt, who, for some reason, people like Mundane Matt have large followings on YouTube. I don't get it, but people watch these guys. When someone has a platform like that, you should use it. You should use it, especially when your case is as abysmally bad as Maddox's was, because he could have monetized it and ate the loss, but come out ahead on monetizing the story. And why he didn't do that? That is surprising. It's very surprising. Gabriel Tripp, I think that ship has sailed. So anyway, that's the whole stupid Maddox thing. I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want it to bog down the stream. It's not what the stream tonight's about. If Landau takes some further legal action, we're definitely going to cover it, in regards to Dick and all that stuff. If there's a countersuit from Asterios against Maddox or other members of the Madcast Media Network, as there may be. I'm not aware of any of those talks. I'm not involved in them. As I've stated from the beginning, I don't represent anyone in this case. And I can't. I can't unless they do something in Minnesota. And, yeah. He wouldn't monetize it because he cares about his image too much. For someone, it's funny. I think he would agree with you, but for someone who cares so much about his image, he hasn't done anything to help his image in the past decade. So that's a little unfair. In the past couple years, for sure. But yeah. All right. Let me... Maddox finding this scrote to sue in California. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. Fan of Antonin Scalia, my friend. Have you thought about doing a video on DC versus Heller? Because I feel the media tries to misrepresent what he said in that opinion. Yeah, it's in my list of things I need to do at some point, DC versus Heller, but I'm kind of just been really mad at the Supreme Court and being afraid of taking gun cases. Oh, you know what, guys? I forgot to do something that is not okay. Not okay. Prior to the chat, Nicholas Melchiori sent a super chat, or prior to the show starting, he sent a super chat, and I want to make sure and cover that, which is, his super chat is, Rackets Tonight, the only show where legal advice is handed out via super chats, and you are, in fact, being detained. So thank you very much, Nicholas Melchiori, for doing that. And you guys are welcome, of course, to super chat. I would never turn it down. I'm happy to make money doing that. If you want me to specifically address, obviously I've been pretty active with the chats. No ends, buddy. This is for you. Losing a companion is rough, man. I don't want 9 people in robes making any decisions on my right to own guns. What if under the robes they have nothing but guns? Then you might want it. So, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to probably screw up a bunch of stuff here. I got to get out the headphones so that I can listen to this Judge Judy stuff. We're going to get into that. Sorry for the long intro, but you know, it's Friday night. We're hanging out and we're chatting. So that's how it goes. Yeah, I have the stream chat on Top Chat. I can change it. No, on my end, on my personal window that is not being displayed on here, I have it on live chat. It's just on Top Chat on here. I mean, I'll change it for now. Whoops. But you know, I try to leave. I typically leave it on live chat just mainly so someone doesn't come in and just start dropping a bunch of horrific racism or something that would get would get flagged. Because you know, that's how it goes. Some people out there don't like me. No one wants to see what's under Ginsburg's robe. That's horrifying. Thank you for ruining my day. All right. Hey Nick, I finished up Ilium and making my way through Olympus. Any other recommendations? Yeah, if you're not completely, how do you like Ilium, by the way? And how do you like Olympus so far? I noticed Olympus was poorly edited. They had some real weird, like, just simple basic mistakes. A horrifically racist drop. No! But I mean, I really, really like Ilium and Olympus. If you're not... Welcome, Sweet and Sour Pork. Hey, Matty P. Hey, welcome. I'm just about to do some Judge Judy live reacts. Stuff I have not watched. This will be as fresh for me as it is for you. I have not watched any of these clips. So, and my internet is doing its nightly lag spikes. So just a second here. Once it decides to kick back up. Thank you, internet. That was very nice of you. If you're not completely worn out on Greek mythology stuff and the Trojan War, which is only, I mean, it's only a small part of Ilium and Olympus, obviously. There's a great series. It's called the Troy series by David Gemmell. It starts with Lord of the Silver Bow, and then the next one is Shield of Thunder, and I think the last one is Sword of Kings. Those three books, David Gemmell, are phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's a modern retelling of the Trojan War, minus the whatchamacallit, minus the propaganda of Homer being a Greek. So I strongly recommend those three books. They're really, really good. Anyway, your compound doesn't have enough internet to upstream and downstream simultaneous stream. No, it's good. It's good. Well, the bit rate going up, it should kick back up. The downstream, oh, we got the downstream. But just a second here. Let me get this Google stuff ready. Oh, excuse me. Not Google stuff. Properties. Let's make this height. Oh. Interact. And whoops. All right. Hey, look, Rekieta Law live stream comedy time right there, right on top. So I'm just getting the links here to Judge Judy. So I hope this comes through. If you guys, once I start the video, if you don't hear sound, let me know right away. Because I'll probably hear the sound. Oh, goodness. We need to fix this real quick. There we go. If we don't hear sound, I want to make sure you're getting it. All right, here we go. So... with his pants down. Okay, so you guys can hear that? All right. Let me turn it up a little bit. Okay, so this says Judge Judy's stupid case and emotional lady. I'm liking Olympus more than Ilium because Ilium felt like making my way through a dark room half the time. Haven't read the original Iliad and Odyssey though. You got to read those at some point, but I mean they're kind of a rough read. Okay, so let's do this. I have no idea what's in these cases, guys, but let's see. Maybe I can find some interesting law stuff to talk about.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Powell versus Rust. Step forward, please.
25-year-old Brenda Powell is suing her ex-roommate, Angela Rust, for breaching their rental agreement.
Thank you, Bert.
You're welcome, Judge.
Don't get comfy.
You're not going to be here long?
No.
Okay.
Miss Powell, this used to be your roommate.
Correct.
How long did you share an apartment together?
It was a period of about 5 months, but it was
Good.
supposed to have been 13.
And then, according to your complaint, owing to problems that were generated by the defendant, you had to move.
I had no choice, yes.
And you moved into another apartment, and the rent on that apartment was more than your half of the rent on the apartment that you shared together. So you want her to pay the difference on your one-bedroom apartment that you have to pay now because she wasn't a good roommate.
Correct.
Good. That's not a case. So, sorry to tell you, we don't do cases like that because it's ridiculous.
It might be a case. It might be a case. I don't know if the remedy is appropriate, but there is a thing called constructive eviction, and that's where, it depends on how the relationship between these two people is structured. But if she's subleasing the apartment to this girl, then there could be a constructive eviction because they would have a landlord-tenant relationship. So that's a possibility. Okay. The next question would be if they're both, equal parties to a lease, they're co-lessees, then there could be, a different tort here that it would depend on the filing document. I don't know how bad of a roommate she was. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I did see the backflipping FBI that shot someone. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, here, let's see what they go. They should just settle the case by mud wrestling.
If you wanted to move back with your mother, you could have done that. Who are you?
Her friend, Natalie.
Natalie, do you have an apartment?
I do.
You could have moved in with Natalie.
Well,
In
that's
any
presumptuous.
event, there is no cause of action for paying the difference between the roommate's half and your apartment now. Do you understand? There's
That's not entirely true. That's actually wrong. Love Judge Judy, okay? But that's not correct. That is part of economic damages because there's an amount of rent that is, as long as it's reasonable, right, that she shouldn't have otherwise had to undertake the expense. It really, really depends what this other girl did, okay? But like, let's say you're paying $300 a month because you're splitting with someone else. So you got a $600 lease. You're paying $300 a month. I live in a small town. I know leases cost more elsewhere, but you're in a junk place splitting a $600 a month lease. Okay. So it's $300 a month. The other roommate does a bunch of stuff that you have to leave. Like, let's say starts cooking meth. That's not on you. You don't want to be around cooking meth. There's not much you can tell them to stop. You can call the police. Don't do that until you're out of the house. You don't want to be calling the police on someone cooking meth in your own property. Bad idea. Generally speaking, get a lawyer. Get a lawyer very quickly. But if, let's say, they start engaging in horrific illegal activities, or they start running a prostitution ring, or, heaven forbid, they kidnap someone or murder someone in the property and you need to get out of there, absolutely they can be responsible. Absolutely, they could be responsible for you having to take on a reasonable amount of rent that you otherwise would not have had to take on. Judge Judy's absolutely wrong there. Maybe they don't have a case because of the stuff we don't get to see. Starts cooking meth. Is this from personal experience? No. The question is, Judge Judy a judge or an arbitrator? She's more along the lines of an arbitrator. More along the lines. I don't know that I don't know. Arbitrators, typically, I believe they have to be certified. And there's, all sorts of stuff. I think as an entertainment thing, and since no one actually ends up paying in this court, they basically waive their right, and they have some legal document that waives their right to carry out a suit. But Judge Judy is wrong on this. There is a cause of action that would lead to damages that would be paying the difference. Like, that's an actual legal theory. I would be paying $300 a month if I got to fulfill the lease that I had signed up for. Now I have to pay $700 a month at this new place because it's the only other place in town. It's comparable rent, but I'm alone. That this is a reasonable legal theory that would work, at least in some jurisdictions. Anyway, let's see how emotional she gets.
There's no cause of action for
Yes,
that.
there is. I was forced to move into the one bedroom. My only other option was to break the lease and pay $7,500.
Well, then maybe you should have.
ma'am, I offered
Then maybe you
to
should
help
have
her.
done. I'm speaking. Then maybe you should have done that, and then you might have had a cause of action.
Wrong. No, you do not have to undertake a $7,000 cause of action and then try and get the other person to indemnify you in that lawsuit. No. Bad, Judge Judy. Bad.
But I wouldn't have
But
had a
you
place to
don't
live.
have a cause of action by moving into a one-bedroom and asking her to pay the difference. That doesn't happen. Goodbye.
I might have to find the case where that does happen because I'm annoyed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
That someone can just sue you for pretty much no reason when you don't owe them any money.
I'm very angry because this is a very valid case.
I'm actually just really relieved to be done with this situation.
She was an awful roommate. She drank all the time. She was always
Interlocutory
partying.
appeal.
We were friends. We've gotten a lot of fights.
She'd never ever pay the bills, but she still had enough money to drink all the time.
She asked me to move out.
Oh,
and
she had
I
enough
moved,
money
and
to
now
drink all the
she's trying
time.
to sue me because I got a house and she wants to get money from me.
She paid rent late and bounced 3 checks in 3 months that we lived there.
We had a lot of personal disagreements.
We were really good friends. We hung out all the time. She treated me really well.
I'm just very happy to be done with the situation.
We moved in and she started dating this guy and they were partying all the time, nonstop. I felt like I lived in a fraternity house.
She's out of my life.
Okay, hold on. What's next? Gosh, so many of these people look the same. Here we go. So this one is called You Broke My Toilet, Now Pay Up. We'll see how that goes. So far, Judge Judy, I'm a little disappointed. In that one. Let's see what we got here.
27-year-old healthcare aide Lisa Reed is suing her former friend, house cleaner Barbara Loth, for breaking her toilet when she sat on it.
Miss Reed, the defendant used to be a friend of yours. She was visiting you, and according...
All right. Does this case confirm that Asterios did in fact break Dick's toilet? All right. Okay, here we go.
According to your complaint, she went into the bathroom and she broke your toilet. She cracked it. You want her to pay for it.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
How many times had she been to your house before?
A whole bunch of times, like 7 or 8.
Where on the toilet was it cracked?
Down the side.
Down
How
the
do you think she did
side?
that?
She must have fell on it.
Fell.
Fell on it. She must have fell back, sat on the toilet.
But you don't know.
I'm positive she's the only person that used the bathroom that night.
Wait a minute. Is Judge Judy taking on a res ipsa case? Oh, here we go. Here we go. If you guys might get a lesson on res ipsa locator in just a second. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry.
No, listen to me. Assuming that you are correct, that the toilet broke when she was using it, why would you think she's responsible?
Because she's responsible. You break something, you pay for it. It's just like going into a store. You break something in a store, you pay for it.
No, my dear. You are absolutely incorrect. And it's very possible that your toilet...
She negligently lowered her planet-sized self onto the toilet seat. I think that's what happened. Right? Is that what's going on?
Wore out.
It didn't wear out, Your Honor.
Show me. You have a witness?
Wore out? Guys. Oh! I have seen some old toilets, man, and they don't, like, porcelain doesn't wear out. It wore out, okay? What? What? Can we get a materials engineer in to help out Judge Judy here? I need an expert. Screams contributory negligence for letting Big Bertha take a squat. Judge Judy makes $47 million a year as of 2016. I need a drink too. It does when you put it under the crushinator. Guys, like, think of the disparity. Oh, let's get serious for a minute. So we just learned that porcelain wears out over time. So your toilet, you have not been properly informed that your toilet is only rated for 470,000 minutes of pooping, or general sitting on the toilet. Like, maybe you're just on your phone and you're not actually using it. You've got your pants up and everything, but you just wanted to sit down in some peace, right? So your toilet has a minutes rested rating based on the average American weight of 270,000 pounds. And think about the discrimination, though. Toilet manufacturers obviously are discriminating because women will largely be sitting down on the toilet much more than a male purchaser. So toilets are inherently discriminatory, as we have learned that they wear out over time. This is ridiculous. We need some help. Toilet manufacturer Torque, I'm coming for you, Torque. Class action lawsuit on behalf of only all of the women in the United States is coming your way. All right, let's see. Sorry, guys.
Witness? Do you have an expert? I have an expert that's going to tell me that the toilet...
Do you have an expert? It's Judge Judy. Do you even allow expert witnesses? Like, how are you qualifying the experts, Judy? Do you have...
Did not...
She was in there, Your Honor, she was in there for 20 minutes. She came out, she closed the bathroom door, she used some of the towels to wipe up the mess.
Look at the eyes. Oh my goodness. This is 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Okay. I wonder what year this was, because the picture's really kind of shoddy. So, I mean, did they have cell phones back then? Because cell phones are the only reason most people are in a bathroom for 20 minutes. That's a guilty face. Oh. She used towels after closing the door on her way out. Yeah, it just wore out. We'll let Dick know.
Okay, she came out, she admitted to me that she broke the toilet, and then I asked her, did you break the toilet?
Just a second. How did the toilet break?
What happened was I just went down and sat on the toilet. I heard like a little pop, and I didn't...
A little pop. Guys, a porcelain bowl cracked down the side. That's gotta be louder than a little pop. Oh. You weigh 350 pounds. You've never broken a toilet. That's what I'm saying. Like toilets, it's a dome shape. Domes, it's an inverted dome, right? So we know they can hold a massive amount of weight. A massive amount of weight. There has to be negligence involved here. Would you have advised the client to settle out of court? Wait, is my client the lady in the fedora, or is my client the weird blonde lady? Oh my goodness. This reminds me of that scene in Shallow Hal when Gwyneth Paltrow sits down and the chair just like flattens, right? It's like, Jack Black, what is this made of? Steel? The fedora. Yeah. I say, okay. Like real talk. If this was not Judge Judy and you're looking at actual court costs and stuff, like, I'm sorry, I broke your toilet. Preserve the friendship. Fix the toilet. I'll give you like $100 to fix the toilet. Like this is Judge Judy a fry court or a bear one? I don't know. Is she in California? Yeah. All right, here we go. Sorry, here we go.
I didn't know anything. I've been
No,
having...
all I want to know is, did you fall on it? Did you kick it?
Heck no.
Did you hit it with a hammer?
Did you elbow drop it? Did you put the people's elbow to that toilet? Cat O'Connor. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how to vocalize like bursting toilet. Thank you for proving my innocence. You're welcome, Jamie. I never doubted you for a moment. Fix every toilet she breaks. How can that be good advice? She'll go bankrupt. No, Buff G Bob, you see, we know that this woman has broken more than just this toilet, but this is the first time she's been hauled into court for it. So you advise her to settle out of court. As part of the settlement, you include an NDA. This woman can never talk about the broken toilet, can never refer to my client in relation to any toilet, ever. And in fact, should never be discussing my client's bathroom habits outside of this. And anytime she does, she'd be liable for $10,000 for humiliation that she would suffer at the world knowing that she sat down and obliterated a toilet. All right, here we go. Sorry.
No.
Did you hit it with a wrench?
No, Your Honor, no.
It broke. The toilet broke while she was using it. That's different than she broke the toilet. The toilet broke.
Do you... this is what I love about these shows. Look at that stare. Do you think a single word that Judge Judy says from this point on is getting past that stare? No, not a chance. Not a chance. Cheapest toilet on Home Depot's website is $89, so apparently being on this show is a better deal in her mind. I present the defendant as Exhibit A. Could you imagine how ridiculous you get? Have you guys seen, so when they take like really, really massive detailed pictures of something, they have a camera and it's mounted on like a special apparatus, and it'll take a picture and then it'll move the camera just a slight amount, and it'll create like these gigapixel images, and it's a composite of thousands and thousands of really high res images. And so then you can take that gigapixel image and then zoom in on various parts of it and get lots of detail, right? So could you imagine like taking a gigapixel image of the other person? Like we took this, we took a camera and put it up on a stand. It took 250 snaps of our DSLR camera to get all of Exhibit A, which is of course the defendant in this case. It just, I'm no physicist, but that lady is the size of a whale in my professional opinion. It's why would you go on Judge Judy with this? Oh man. Whew, okay, let's finish this one.
While she was using it. Do you understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
She sat down on the toilet. I heard a big thump. We were all gathering around in my apartment. We were having...
Reed, you're not...
Sorry. I heard a big thump. I heard a small pop. I heard a big thump.
Following me. I agree with you. The toilet broke while she was using it. That doesn't mean that she...
Oh, goodness. This is going the plaintiff's Hollywood sizzle reel. No, I'm not saying that you would need to use the camera to take all of the pictures of the person. I'm not saying that you would do that, like that would be required. I'm not making a fat joke. I'm saying, like, imagine the plaintiff being that much of a jerk that instead of just like, saying, look at how, this person's large, being like, look at how large this person is. We had to take multiple pictures to do it. That's not something that would ever actually be a real thing. That was a joke about what a plaintiff would do to accentuate the largeness. Sometimes lawyers pull weird stunts in court to try and like emphasize a point. And so that was a law joke. That was not about this person being large enough to require multiple shots. Okay, here we go.
She broke it, and that doesn't mean that she's responsible for it.
Who is?
Toilets break. I had one just break in my apartment last week.
Well, Judge Judy, how did it break? Did you sit on it and have a catastrophic thump or a small pop? Either of those happen, or did it break like it got clogged up and you needed to replace it? When ceramics break, it is very energetic. It would be quite noisy, although it may have been muffled. Is Judge Judy an activist for healthy at any size? It's incredible she's getting so upset at the thought this woman's weight might have been the cause. Lawyers are amazing at talking their way out of things. So, here's so I mentioned earlier there is this thing called res ipsa loquitur, okay, and it's an obscure legal theory in practice. It's an obscure legal theory in practice, okay? So res ipsa loquitur translates to the thing speaks for itself from Latin to English. And it's this idea in a negligence lawsuit where you can't actually prove the negligence, okay? So in this case, and res ipsa would probably, it'd be a stretch here, but you basically say, this came up earlier, right? Early on in the clip, she says she went in there, toilet was fine, she came out, it was broken. She's like, well, how's she responsible? I don't know what happened while she was in the bathroom, but something had to happen while she was in the bathroom to cause a toilet to break, because toilets don't just break, typically speaking. So something had to happen. So there's a res ipsa argument here where, like, I don't know what happened. I can't allege the facts. I know that when she went in, it was fine. When she came out, it was broken. And the only thing that could have caused it, in this case, was her negligent sitting on the toilet. And now, ignore this woman's weight, because she's not, she's larger, but she's not that large, right? You can go watch My 600-Pound Life and see much, much, much bigger people than her. All right. So, but let's say, replace her with a muscular 250-pound man, for example. He sits on that toilet. That's not going to that's not going to break the toilet. But, you know, if he thumps down really hard or slips and falls or does something like he's, I don't know, trying to do something different in the bathroom and ends up falling on the toilet, that could certainly lead to some sort of negligent damage to the toilet. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, yeah, so, look, we have a lot of fun here. But getting serious about this, there are certainly theories that could lead to her being responsible for the breaking of the toilet. That's not unheard of. And mainly because toilets don't just break. They're meant to hold people larger than her. So something had to happen in that bathroom to break the toilet, right? Or something had to happen prior. Maybe she did a backflip onto the toilet. Use real words, saying Latin-y things is not lawsplaining. No, but if you were actually bringing a res ipsa claim, you would label it as a res ipsa claim in your complaint. Like, you would do that. So that's why I do it. But again, it directly translates to English to the thing speaks for itself. I think the earliest res ipsa claim that the Supreme Court heard, to give you guys an idea of what it looks like. Okay, a guy's like walking down the streets. I'm pretty sure there was a rail operation that was shipping barrels of flour or something like that. And I'm stretching my memory here, and I apologize. But basically, this guy's walking down the street, and a barrel of flour falls from like a 4th story of a building and smashes the guy. Just really, really devastating injuries. I think the guy lived. Right. What Hamilton-Berger said. If a 600-pound person isn't constantly breaking toilets, then the defendant either is heavier than that or she negligently broke the toilet. Res ipsa loquitur. Obviously, she's not heavier than a 600-pound person. I mean, something would be weird. We're talking high density at that case because she's not that huge. But yeah, so in the res ipsa case, they don't know why a barrel full of flour fell from a 4th story of a building and landed on a guy. They don't know. What they do know is that that's not supposed to happen, and the company that owned the flour barrel was acting negligent in some way. So that's how res ipsa works. And in this case, like, you're not going to bring a res ipsa claim on a toilet because you're talking $500 for a nice for a relatively nice toilet being installed. So that's a bit silly. It would cost more to bring the claim in a lot of cases, especially because it'd be a complicated legal argument. And I think the small claims judge who had to hear that case would shoot themselves afterwards. But, you know, like there is a negligence theory here. And so this is a problem I have with these daytime things is like, if we're talking legal principles, yeah, absolutely, you could bring this. And that's why they hung the original Pillsbury Doughboy. All right, let's see what's next. Yeah, breaking a toilet lid isn't so bad. You can get a toilet lid set at Walmart for like $20 or whatever. Okay, here we go.
Cost me $650 to put in a new toilet. You think I went around to try to find the last person who sat on it? Be stupid. Grow up. That's all.
Well, that's easy to say when you have $47 million a year coming in, right? Right? Like that's a little classist of Judge Judy, if I have to say so myself. I'm a little taken aback by that because, someone who lives in a trailer or a pre-manufactured home who makes minimum wage or, maybe like a single mom or a waitress or something, they don't have $650 to spend replacing a toilet. Goodness gracious. Wow, Judge Judy. Wow. All right, let's see what we got next. Let's see. Properties. $47 million. Yeah. What if Clay had to replace a toilet? We'd have to do an Indiegogo campaign to get Clay a replacement toilet.
We're scamming them on eBay.
Fabergé toilets. Judge Judy has a liposuction right at her front door that her butler administers to large people who come in to Judge Judy's house. That's who she is. To be fair, the fee both of them receive for appearing in the show probably would cover the damages. Yeah, and if you guys don't know, the allegation of how Judge Judy works is that basically whatever award, someone's suing someone else, and if there's an award in the case, the show pays the award, and I believe they pay both of them an appearance fee. So they're all making money on this. This segment is Judge Judy. Judge Judy, yes. All right, here we go. Let's see what's next. So Judge Judy owns eBay scammer. And again, is Judge Judy not familiar with the 13th Amendment? You cannot own people in the United States. Judge Judy. Here we go.
The plaintiffs claim they paid Kelly for 2 cell phones, and in return, she sent them 2 pictures of cell phones.
Mrs. Davenport, what did you purchase at this auction?
We purchased 2 i580 cell phones.
For how much?
One was $201.50 and one was $255.56.
You sent her money?
Correct.
And what did you get in return?
I got the envelope, and I got these 2 sheets of paper. And her husband told me...
Did you see those high-tech cell phones? High-tech. By the way, hopefully this lady on eBay is running her operation through an LLC, and the LLC will take the corporate liability for this, and this lady would be entitled to all $10 in her LLC's bank account. The bank account, of course, paid the salary already to the person who works for the LLC, which would be the defendant there, and there are just no assets to go after. Did the founders have any opinions on pwning other people? I think they did eventually. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
That I paid for what I got. Thank you for the shopping spree. I asked him for my money back, and he said, no, I've already spent the money on merchandise I wanted to get. And he laughed and told me to take him to court. So I hung up the phone, and I have not talked to them since.
Where's your husband?
He's at home with our children. He couldn't come.
Why couldn't he come?
Because we couldn't find a babysitter.
Because he's at home with our children. And this is a joke.
So he had to
Why
stay
didn't you
home.
stay home?
Because I would rather come than him. The eBay auction is in my name.
Oh, good. So you are responsible for this?
Yes.
Explain it.
It states very clearly in the auction that this is for a photo only. I sent her...
Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. I want you to... Listen. Listen to me carefully. She sent you $467.75. And you sent her 2 photographs of the cell phones. And you say that that's what she paid for, 2 photographs of the cell phones. Are we understanding each other?
Yes.
You're an idiot and a scammer. And if you came here to defend that position to me, you're going to be unsuccessful because you are a thief. You are a
nothing
thief.
to do with the auction.
Listen to me. You're a thief because your husband said to her, thank you for the shopping
My
spree.
husband never said that to her.
Absolutely did.
No, he did not.
Absolutely did how? Like, what evidence has been presented in this case? Was it in the initial filing? Fraud or mistake of law. I wonder what the eBay listing said, right? Like that would be part of the test here. That would be part of the test. Oh my goodness. And Ryan Burns, I apologize if you're offended or if I bothered you by making fun of someone online. I make fun of a lot of people. It's not personal to them. But you know, that's how it goes. Make fun of me if you want. Like I make fun of me too. But are you serious? This is a scam. It looks like a scam. I am really curious as to what the actual eBay listing said, right? Not a valid contract, no meeting of the minds. Probably not. But what did it say? Like, was it clear that you're buying pictures of cell phones? I don't know. We don't know.
Absolutely did, because I believe that if you are married to this man, and the two of you not only unfortunately married to each other, two scammers, but created children together, that's unfortunate for the children. You're a thief. Outrageous. You are outrageous, madam. Why don't you get a job? Look at me. You're an outrageous person. And your husband is an outrageous person. What I don't understand is somebody with the unenviable position of being in your position right there today.
That was a double position sentence. Give you $300 and I'll give you a sheet of paper. I don't know. I'm not saying it would absolve her. I'm just curious what it says. You know, like I don't know what these cell phones are valued at in the first place. It's really weird. What if those are $1,000 cell phones? All right. What if those are $1,000 cell phones and this person looks at that eBay listing and says, I can get that $1,000 cell phone for $200, even though it says you're not getting the actual cell phone, you're getting a piece of paper clearly on the eBay thing. Is that a scam? Is that a scam? I don't actually know. Yeah, I'm going off of Keck provided me a list. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to do like a full episode. But here, let's. Yeah, and that could be certainly fraud. And this probably is fraud, right? I'm curious what the posting said.
Why you would risk humiliating yourself in front of 10 million people is something that is totally beyond me. You are an outrageous person. Now I want to know what she posted on the website after
yes!
you harassed her for your money back.
I never said.
Don't speak until I speak to you.
She got what she paid for.
Don't speak until I speak to you. How many children do you have, Miss Filkins?
3.
How old are they?
5, 3, and 2.
You have an active case with Child Protective Services?
No.
You might.
For what?
For what? For what is right? Is Judge Judy taking tips from Maddox now? You gonna call her employer? Good Lord. Wow. Wow. That's... Guys... Wow.
I didn't harm my children. I didn't put my children in danger.
Let me tell you something. Bringing this kind of activity into your home.
What kind of activity?
That is not at all. That face right there is exactly the face you should have when Judge Judy is presuming to do this. Sure, defrauding people is a bad thing. Does that make you an unfit parent? That's a stretch. An eBay scam for $200 is not an issue for Child Protective Services. Wow. Wow. Hey, welcome, Tess. Wow.
She can't read. It's not my fault she can't read.
No, listen to me, madam. I read your ad.
Uh-huh.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm older, smarter. If you live to be 120, you're not going to be as smart as I am in one finger. 4.90 ounces. This does not weigh 4.90 ounces.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Do you think a cell phone weighs 4.9 ounces? How much does a cell phone weigh? 5 ounces? Maybe. What about a cell phone back then? Is she weighing this? Let's see.
That's what you said to her. When I said to you that if you live until you're 150, you're not going to be as smart as I am in one finger. I want you to trust me on this because I, being in your position, would never humiliate myself.
But is it the weight of the paper or the net packaging weight? We don't know this. We don't know this, guys.
In front of 10 million people. Never!
Well, there was 8 other people at this auction she scammed.
She doesn't like to work. She likes to make babies. She likes to make babies. She thinks...
Wow.
But that's
There was
you have to
other
be, she
people
thinks
that-
that you have to be smart
there was
to
other
make
people that
babies.
read the
Don't
option and
speak
understood
to me
it.
until
It's
I
not my
speak
fault
to
she
you.
can't read.
Don't speak to me.
What's up, Joker? Why am I actually killing you? Of course this woman scammed them. Like, right? Like, that's the joke. Right? It's okay. It's okay. But Judge Judy is going way too far here. Like, this is not the role of a judge. It's not her. This is not her role at all. Not at all.
Until I speak to you. You have to find something else to do with your time constructively, other than make children who are going to grow up with no moral compass like their mother. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Thank you.
Wow. Whoops. That, I mean, the judgment is probably correct. Looks like a scam. $5,000? I'm not quite sure what the damages theory is on that. I don't know why the $5,000. I would think a return of the money plus some percentage of interest plus, you know, some sort of punitive damage. I don't know that $5,000 is necessary in this case. But the judge, I mean, like, if this were a real judge, you'd have an argument that the judge was prejudicial from the outset. Oh, of course, the TV judge is not doing what a real judge would do. That's the segment, right? Like, that's the whole thing. And I know judges are constantly making decisions this way. Trust me. This is that old internet joke about the lady that got mad because she thought she was going to win a Toyota, but she won a Toyota. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So what's next? So this is police officer gets punished for writing ex-cop's daughter something. So this is a long video, says Keck. So someone was just asking for a little longer one. Let's see what we got here. And no, I do not support people scamming people on eBay. Okay. Like, let's be clear on that. There are jokes that are involved in this segment. It's taking money out of that children's mouths. But I mean, honestly, like, Judge Judy went way over the line there. CPS, this has nothing to do with CPS. Not at all. Wanted to donate, but of course my card company has decided it is a security issue at this time, so I'll need to donate next time. Thanks for entertaining me while I clean my baseboards. Bye. Later, Dangerous Mustachio. I appreciate it, buddy. Have a good time with the rest of your night. Here we go. I do want to see the ad, though. Like, I really want to see the ad. Because, all right. Yeah. Oh, Judge Judy, she's, yeah. Way out of line. Way out of line. Let's talk about something real quick here, okay? This is something you see when you start dealing with these kinds of issues. Yes, there are all sorts of scammers on eBay. Yes, they're terrible people. No one should be scammed on eBay, okay? As long as we're clear with that, I need to get something out here, all right? I need to get something out here. Oftentimes, there are two parties to every scam. The reason people buy into a lot of scams is because they decide not to do what a reasonable and prudent person would do. They go, and you saw this with guys like Bernie Madoff in a much bigger scale than an eBay scam, right? Oh, of course my account earns 30% a year over year. Why wouldn't it, right? Of course. They're not complicit in the scam, but they're willfully ignorant of the things that are going on that lead into the scam. So this person, I have no idea what that eBay ad said. I have no idea. I don't have an easy way to find it, but this person saw a deal. They probably thought it was way better than it should have been and participated in that scam. That happens with an alarming amount of frequency, and you are not immune to that in court. Like, you know, if you're scamming people, you're probably going to get hosed, but the punitive damages in that case, where you got $4,700 or $4,600 or whatever above what that person lost, you know, they lost $400 that they paid for the phones, and then all of a sudden she awards $5,000. Those would probably be mitigated by, look, I put out there what this was. They chose not to read it. They chose to go off of this thing and not do any sort of look at, like, any honest look at the ad would show you. That would be part of the defense. And I'm not saying that's what happened here. But it is an interesting part of what goes on with scams. Oftentimes, you know, people think it sounds too good to be true. I better do it. Well, if it sounds too good to be true, you might want to look into it. Maybe it's stolen, right? Oh yeah, I got this Rolex. You know, my grandma gave it to me, but I'll sell it to you for $300. You know, I know it's a Rolex, it's worth a lot, but $300 is good. So you get it. You're like, oh yeah, this is like a $10,000 watch. I'm going to put it on, $300. Oh, look, it was stolen. Well, how did I know it was stolen? Why are you buying a $10,000 watch for $300? Or it's a knockoff. Well, he ripped me off. It's a knockoff. It's a Rolex. You thought the guy was going to sell you a $10,000 watch for $300. Why? Sophisticated investors' exception to additional securities disclosure. But anyway, I will not take $275. Anyway, let's see what's next. When are we going to get down with Judge Jill Brown? All right, so this is police officer gets punished for writing ex-cop's daughter a ticket. Okay. Yeah.
What's up, family? Y'all ain't gonna believe.
L&B, who are you talking about? Are you talking about me? Am I the attorney that you're talking about, L&B? I know you got a delay, so I'm waiting just a little bit to see if you answer me. Because I'm 36. So, I don't know if you're talking to me, or talking about me or someone else. Oh, 36. Yeah. So, hope that helps. Here we go. All right, buying feet pics when the stream's over, I'll get you a Discord link. Absolutely. Oh, no, I'm 36. No, nothing to hide on my age. I'm my age. But are you an attorney, LNB? Thank you, Beverly. 36-year. Yes, all 36-year-olds drink now. I'm going to start the video, but I'll watch for your responses. The delay is kind of weird because it makes long pauses.
Believe this one. A Los Angeles police officer disrespected the code when he wrote a former police officer's daughter a ticket even after she told him who her father was. I'm in shock. I need medical attention. What is the world
Andrew.
coming to when you can't trust a police officer to be untrustworthy? Y'all check out the video and leave your comments. No more talk.
No more
This is
talk.
case number 85 on the calendar in the matter of Robinson versus Davis. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
You are a police officer, sir. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are you a police officer?
Los Angeles Police Department.
How long have you been a police officer?
19 years.
According to what I've read, you gave the defendant a traffic ticket. And that traffic ticket was for speeding?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the speed that she was traveling, and what was the zone?
She was traveling 58 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone.
Your complaint states that
Tess, these things are enforced by contract. Currently commenting on a commentary of a fake law show. Okay, I'm waiting for the gotcha because at the outset, 58 miles in a 40. What's the problem? What's the problem here? I already hate the defendant. Like, don't get me wrong. I've driven 58 in a 40, but if I got pulled over, I wouldn't expect to get out of the ticket.
that subsequent to giving her a ticket, she wrote a letter, or a series of letters, one to your captain, one to the chief, complaining about the treatment she received from you.
Ooh.
And as a result of those letters, there was an investigation, and while there was a finding of no fault, I assume, is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Those letters will remain in your file, and you want to be compensated because you said everything that she said about you was a lie.
That's true.
So first I have to find out from Miss Davis. I'd like to see from you a copy of the letter that you sent to Officer...
Have you guys seen that movie White Chicks? The Wayans movie White Chicks? I'm gonna write a letter. So contestants go on, sign a form that guarantees the remedy on either outcome. Oh, and Tess, the other way they enforce it is the show pays. The show pays for the outcome. So if Judge Judy awards $5,000 to the plaintiff, then the show pays the plaintiff $5,000, and then that's it. No one loses money in this show. All right, let's get to this letter. Sorry.
To Robinson's superiors. Now, can you also please identify who your witnesses are?
I am my father, James Davis, and my mother, Winnie Davis.
Okay. And neither of them were present during the course of this...
No, they weren't.
Incident.
This is what Christina Aguilera is doing these days.
And your father, from what I gather from your answer, as well as from Officer Robinson's complaint, is a retired police officer. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Now, Miss Davis, I would like you to start from the beginning.
Okay.
The very beginning.
Your Honor,
There you go, Clay. That's for you. I don't know what kind of fetish that is, but all for you, pal.
Tell me what happened when Officer Robinson stopped you.
well, I would like to start off by saying that it has nothing to do with the actual citation. I wrote the letter about expressing my feelings to the police department about the way that I was treated and how I felt.
Why don't you just answer my question? I asked you to tell me what happened from the moment that he pulled you over for speeding.
Okay. He pulled me over and he told me that I was allegedly going too fast.
Pulled you over,
Mm-hmm.
and he said to you, what were his words?
I don't remember his exact
What
words.
did you say to him?
Hello. I rolled down my window. He asked for my license and registration.
Did you have your license?
Yes, I did.
Did you have your registration?
Yes, I did.
Fine. So he took the license, and what did he do with it?
He proceeded to tell me what he stopped me for, and he went back to his car.
No, I don't want you to tell me he proceeded to tell me what he stopped me for. He said something to you. I stopped you for speeding. You were going 58 miles in a 40-hour zone. What did he say to you, Miss Davis?
I'm sorry, I'm just very nervous.
Well, get unnervous.
Get unnervous. You're in front of 10 million people. Get unnervous.
Did he say to you, I'm giving you a ticket because you were speeding?
Yes.
Fine. And what did you say to him?
I asked him if he knew my father.
And what did he say to you?
You know who I am? You know who my dad is? Oh my goodness. Wow.
He said he knew exactly who my father was.
You said to him, do you know who my father is? And he must have said to you, who's your father?
Yes.
And you said?
Jim Davis.
And he said, I know exactly who your father is.
He said, yes, he's a retired police officer. Yes, he did. That's what
No,
he said.
what did he say to you? Did he say, I know he's a retired
he
police
said
officer, or did he say, I know
He
exactly
said,
who your father
he's a
is?
retired police officer. I know exactly who he is.
Fine. And then what did he do?
He went back to his motorcycle to continue writing my ticket.
And what did you do?
I looked for my insurance.
Did you find it?
Yes.
And did you, at some point, get out of the car?
Yes.
Was it before or after you found your insurance?
Probably during. I made a phone call on my cell phone.
Who did you make a phone call to?
To my father.
What for?
because I was nervous about the way I was being treated.
So far you have...
I'm nervous about the way you've been treated. What? How are you treated? Like, what am I missing? What am I missing?
Been treated perfectly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So far you have been treated perfectly, professionally and perfectly. So
I'm
what did you
talking
call
about-
your father for?
Because I wanted to ask him a question.
What question did you want to ask him?
About my insurance, because I had just gotten a new insurance card because my car had been broken into, so I
Perfectly.
called.
You think that's why she really called her father? Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Do you know who my father is? I'm going to call him. I had a question about my insurance. Sure you did, Pumpkin.
Reasonable. So when you got your father on the phone, what did you say to him?
I told him that I had just been stopped by a police officer for speeding, and he said, can I talk to the officer? So at that point, with the insurance in my hand, I got out of the car, and I...
Why would you get out of the car? Show of hands, how many of you have been pulled over by the police? Did you ever think to get out of the car without being asked? If you have, let me offer you some free, not legal, but how to stay alive advice. Don't get out of the car. Don't get out of the car until they ask you. Don't, of your own volition, open your door to get out of a car during a traffic stop. That's how you get shot. Oh my goodness gracious. She was traveling, not driving. Do you know who my father is? Well, he'll tell you I'm an Article 4 free inhabitant.
went up to him, and I asked him if I could ask him something.
She walked up to a cop?
He put his hand up in my face.
No, you didn't say that to him at all. Don't give me baloney. You said my father wants to talk to you.
No, I said, can my father talk to you? Can I?
Right, that's
Yes.
exactly what you said. Can my father talk to you? Don't leave that out. And he put his hand up in your face and said what?
He said, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to anybody. Go to your car. He didn't want to discuss anything further.
Sounds perfectly right to me. Doesn't it sound perfectly right to you, former retired police officer Davis?
Thanks, Tillip. Yeah, every time I get pulled over, as soon as the cop turns around, I get out of the car to inform him I'm carrying a firearm. Then I gesture to where it is so he's aware. Yes. Officer, I have a firearm in my waistband. Let me grab it for you.
That requires a simple yes or no. Is anything
Yes,
that your
ma'am.
daughter said to you sound untoward on the part of this officer?
She's left a couple of things out.
No, you weren't there.
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
You weren't there. So if you were me, and you've been around the ballpark a little bit, if you were me listening...
Is Judge Judy implying that she's been around a bit?
to your daughter right now, would you find anything untoward in this police officer's conduct?
Only the part about he didn't want to talk to her and go have a seat in the car.
No.
What is untoward about that? Why would he talk to her? I mean, aside from the fact that just begging for admissions from this person, like, I want to talk to you, officer. No, bad blonde. Bad Christina. Go back in the bottle and sit there and wait. He'll rub the outside when it's time to come out.
What she said was she wanted him to talk to you. And you were going to try to talk him out of giving your daughter a ticket.
That's not true.
Absolutely, positively, 100%. As I'm sitting here and he's standing there.
Not anymore.
Speak. Listen to me. Speak not. Otherwise, there is absolutely no reason for you to have...
May I say something?
Called. Say nothing, sir. Don't embarrass yourself.
Oh. You know, Judge Judy is so happy. Like, look at the face, okay? She's mad, but she's the happiest mad person ever because this is money, right? Like, when she gets to get indignant, this is money.
I won't.
You will. Believe me, you will. You will embarrass yourself because that is exactly what happened. She called you on the phone and she said, I'm going to get a speeding ticket. And you said, let me speak to the guy. That's what your daughter told me.
That's not correct.
Well, that's what your daughter just told me. You mean she's lying? She said to me, my father said, let me talk to him. And I got out of the car holding my insurance card in my hand with the phone. And she walked over to him and said to him, my father wants to talk to you. And he put up his hand and he said, I don't want to talk to you. And I don't want to talk.
Madam Psychosis, I'm with you 100%. Look, sweetie, if you're ever out there and you get pulled over, you know, just give me a call. Let me talk to him. I'll talk to him. You know, it's fine. I probably know his sergeant, and we'll figure it out.
Talk to your father. That's what she just told me. I didn't make that up.
Well, she asked me, she told me she got stopped for speeding. And I asked her, I said, did he use a radar? Did he follow you? Did he estimate your speed? What did he do? And she said, I don't know. And I said, get out of the car and ask.
Why would you advise your... This must have been filmed in the 90s. Are there judges that have doilies on their robe collars? Is that that's just a Judge Judy thing in my jurisdiction? Hamilton Burger, don't ask for consistency of logic from Judge Judy. I was gone for a minute, left on the phone case. Can you sue an arbitrator for really messing stuff up? You can always, you can always go to the court, but you better have a strong reason why the arbitration was unreasonably prejudiced against you, or something like that. This is the early 2000s. I guess people weren't getting shot getting out of their cars as much then. He too is not a black man. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wow. Please say other people than Joker and I caught her give the full Heil.
Kim. She came back 2 seconds later and said, he said it was not radar. And I said, fine. And she said, would you like to talk to him? And I said, if he'll talk to me, I'll talk to him.
Listen to me, sir. Those are questions that are left for a court. You know that, and I know that. The way to fight a ticket is to go to a hearing and ask just the questions that you wanted her to ask this officer when he was giving her a ticket.
Let me stop Judge Judy right there. And I'm going to tangent a little bit here. So I apologize for that in advance. But someone left a comment just today. Someone left a comment, as always, and ever shall it be, we feck is gay. Okay. I asked him if he was earlier. He didn't answer me. But someone left a comment on one of my YouTube videos, and it was the Starbucks video where they had the two black guys, and the cops show up and arrest the two black guys because the Starbucks barista called the cops, and all sorts of crazy stuff has happened for them, and everybody's giving them, like, they win the case. The black guys win the case. Starbucks has immediately had forfeited the case, and they did their weird, we're going to close every store and make people watch a bunch of videos. All that stuff has happened, okay? But someone left a comment on my video and said, you know, they thought that I was completely wrong at the end of the video when I said, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something to the effect of, I don't know if the cops should have arrested these guys. I don't think that arrest was proper, okay? So here's the situation. So probable cause. And this annoys me because Judge Judy just said, this is a matter for the court. This is a defense to raise in court. And that's the same thing this other person said. Now, these are different scenarios because she's getting a ticket and these guys are getting arrested. So there's a difference there, but this triggers me, so I've got to talk about it. Okay. When the cops arrive on scene at Starbucks, the person's argument is that they're just there responding to the call from Starbucks that you got some guys trespassing, basically, and they need to go. Fine. That's what happens. That's the call they respond to. But I've been living in Starbucks for the past 2 weeks without buying anything because they're afraid of being called racist. But anyway, here's the thing. So to arrest someone, you actually have to have a reason. You have to have a reason. It's called probable cause to arrest. And shockingly, the court has created a standard for what probable cause is. Probable cause is what a reasonable person exercising ordinary care and prudence determine that the person being arrested was guilty of a crime. It doesn't mean they necessarily are guilty. They don't have to have conclusive proof. But what a reasonable person who's there, looking at the person or aware of the same things the cops are aware of, would they conclude that they're guilty of a crime? So what they were criticizing me for was I brought up the point that pretty much everybody in that restaurant's like, they didn't do anything that merits being arrested, right? Like a bunch of people are standing around saying they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. What are you guys doing? They didn't do anything. So you have presumptively reasonable people exercising ordinary care and prudence because they're there while the cops are not there. And they're saying they didn't do anything. They're not guilty of a crime. So why are the cops arresting these guys? Triggers my anxiety. Is this actionable? No. Fun fact, Coast Guard probably pretty much never needs to have probable cause for anything. No, because they're a border patrol basically, so they don't have to do anything. But okay, so there is a standard though of probable cause, and that's reasonable person exercising ordinary care and prudence. Would they determine? The guys at Starbucks, everybody around is saying they didn't do anything. Why are you arresting them? You have the reasonable person standard fulfilled right there. It's right there. And I know that that cops don't have to come up to a scene and interview everybody, but in a case where you've got two guys, it's presumably not violent. There's been no reports of violence, no violent activity. That everything seems calm there. They have a few minutes to actually stop and talk to the people around and figure out what the reasonable people around are thinking. We've got to stop arresting people. We've got to stop arresting. If you've got 20 friends to say you didn't do anything, then there's got to be other people there. Like everybody in the Starbucks is your friend. But we've got to stop arresting people. And here's why. This is important. So let's say you get arrested, you get charged with a crime, you have affirmative defenses. You can say, no, I'm not guilty. Okay, you get found not guilty. You can even get that sealed. Say that this charge was malicious, the prosecution was malicious or whatever. Maybe you can get it sealed. What you cannot do is you cannot expunge your arrest record from the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. They will always have your arrest record. And guys, that arrest record is public information. So the next time you go to a job, they pull your BCA report and they see an arrest. And you say, oh, well, I was not guilty. Yeah, but the next guy wasn't even arrested. What happens? What happens? There's a great video out there. It's something like 40% of people are arrested by the age of 23. 40%. Think about that. 40% of people have been arrested by the age of 23. We got to stop arresting people. One, the BCA report is ridiculous. That you can't have that expunged. Like an arrest can be completely malicious and false. And like a cop can just come and arrest you for completely false things. You could win on court. You could even win win damages against a cop. But that arrest will show on your BCA report without all those caveats. So we got to stop it. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. When did it start? It's been around for a long time. I don't know. So we got to stop with so many arrests. Or we got to make the BCA report expungible when people are found completely innocent. Because employers are pulling BCA reports. And if you're arrested for a crime you didn't commit, or for malicious circumstances, you got to stop it. No, and traffic stops are not considered arrests. This doesn't apply to this person. It just triggered my brain on thinking on this other subject. And no, traffic violations are not arrests in this sense of the BCA. 40% of people are arrested and taken to a jail. Okay? But we've got to stop. We've got to stop with the arrests. The other part of the arrest is like making someone defend themselves for something they didn't do is expensive. It's expensive. Guys, even defending like a faulty speeding ticket is a couple $100 to an attorney to defend you on the speeding ticket. Defending an arrest, you're talking like low rate, $500 to $1,000. Even if you have all of the information in the world and you get it dismissed, you've still got to hear. You've got multiple hearings probably before that dismissal occurs. We've got to stop it. We've got to stop this stuff. We've got to stop giving cops this excuse that, well, you can take that up in court. No. It's thousands of dollars and people don't have it. And if you think that it's okay that they can maybe get a public defender, you're paying for the public defender. No. And the public defenders are overworked and can't catch this stuff, which isn't their fault. It's the fault that cops keep arresting so many people. So anyway, don't minorities make up 40% of the population? I don't know. I don't know the official demographic stats, but it's a lot of people getting arrested, and it's got to stop. It's the 40% of people are not convicted of a crime by the age they're 23. 40% of people are arrested, and it's a pretty big disparity between those two numbers. Anyway, can you honestly say listening to witnesses to decide if a person is arrested is your best way forward? You can't see how that would be abused? No, I can see how that would be abused. But like Starbucks is a public place. Barista calls because these guys don't want to leave. Fine. Maybe you need to get them out of the store. The arrest. Oh, okay, so it's BCA in my state, but it's not unique to my state. The arrest record, someone is keeping track of every arrest. Trust me. Because your federal arrests show up too. And they can pull this stuff. This is not a unique problem to Minnesota. There is an arrest record for every arrest. And yes, sure, it can be abused. Absolutely. Like you show up to a house party and a bunch of minors are drinking and everybody at the house party says no one was drinking. Right, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about two guys in a public place with a whole bunch of people really confused as to why they're being arrested. Kicking them out of Starbucks is different than arresting them, especially when literally every piece of their story was corroborated. You wouldn't be setting a precedent. You're setting a precedent on appeal. Precedent doesn't get set by police officers taking a moment and exercising ordinary care and prudence, which is the standard, by the way. That is the precedent. That's the court precedent. That's from the United States Supreme Court. Probable cause exists on would a reasonable person in this situation exercising ordinary care and prudence find the people likely to have committed the crime. If not, then you cannot make the arrest. So you're not setting a precedent by just asking people on the scene what's going on. That happens all the time. Cops are always taking information at the scene. It didn't happen in the Starbucks case. And I'm not saying the Starbucks case is like some landmark thing that we all, like some wake-up call. This is a general problem. We've got to stop arresting people. Send them home with a citation. Send the Starbucks guys a citation. Let them defend it in court that way. The arrest is the problem. And arrests are absolutely a problem. And if you don't think there's discrimination in arrests based on skin color, I've got news for you. Like, trust me. It's when you work in defense, you see it. You see it. Okay? Like you see there is discrimination in how arrests work out. A record of every arrest exists unless you're the ATF doing a gun background NICS check. That's the truest statement in the world. Anyway. So let's move on. Sorry I had to rant on that, but guys, think for a minute what we're asking for. We're asking for the state to exert more control over our lives. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Pony Cordero says, will you cover Pulse victims in Orlando suing the cops for not acting fast enough? I think it's stupid, but I need your legal opinion. I wasn't aware of that lawsuit. Yeah, I can look into it. Absolutely. they're going to lose. The Pulse victims are going to lose badly in that case. All right, here we go. Here we go. Back to the case. Sorry about the tangent. You got discriminated against by the police in Hawaii for being white. Feels bad. Yeah, that's how it goes, right? All right. All right, guys. But if it wasn't for wrongful arrest, we would never have had the A-team. Okay, let's get back to the Willie D. Lives video of Judge Judy here.
He is under no obligation whatsoever to provide that information. And you know that as a former police officer.
Yes, ma'am.
So far, he did nothing untoward. Nothing. And she had no right to write a letter.
Yeah, melting point. Asking cops to be judges in the heat of the moment is insane. There's no heat in the moment in Starbucks. No heat in that moment at all. They had ample time. They took like 10 minutes to sit there and not arrest those guys before they ended up arresting him. And then when the guy shows up and says, no, these are my clients. I'm going to buy them coffee. We're all going to be, no, problems. Sorry.
None. Now you may be seated. Now I'm going to ask you some other things. Who wrote the letter?
I did.
With whose help?
With my mother and father.
Right.
But I wrote the letter with my thoughts and my ideas.
Oh, your thoughts and your ideas. Listen to me. I want you to understand something. I've been around the ballpark a long time. How did I know that you did not write this letter by yourself?
Judge Judy's been around a bit.
I'm an educated college student. I don't know why.
Well,
why I wouldn't be able to.
Because I could tell that you didn't write it yourself. That's how. Come. I could tell you didn't write it yourself. It may have been your thoughts or your ideas, but the words weren't all yours. So that comes out of vindictiveness. He was annoyed that this officer gave his daughter a ticket and would not get on the phone with him because, after all,
thank you,
should
Beverly,
have done
for
it as a
that.
courtesy. And he didn't.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. And you did the wrong thing because you were a spoiled brat driving a little bit too fast, and you got stopped, and your father, I don't know if he's ever gotten you out of difficulty before, but you figured, while I'm looking for my insurance card, I'm going to call my father. There was no reason for that because you had the insurance card in your hand. You had any questions for your father, you ask him the questions after you get the ticket when you get home. There was no reason to call him then. Absolutely none. So you know why you called your father. I know why you called your father. He knows why you called your father, and the fact that he wouldn't respond to it is to his credit. That you got no more of a favor than anybody else that he might have stopped.
But the fact is that he did not want to continue to talk to me.
He doesn't.
I'm waiting for the but. I'm waiting for the but, right? Like, there's got to be a but to this. This isn't as... This can't be this straightforward because it's too ludicrous.
I have to talk to you. You want to talk to somebody, go to a psychiatrist. He doesn't have to talk to you. He's giving you a ticket.
To someone who's a police officer, who I look up to, who is on duty in uniform.
Please.
Someone who I look up to and I respect, and who doesn't want to even talk to me after that whole incident.
Let me explain something to you, madam. He doesn't want to be pressured. And before you got out of the car with your cell phone, with your father on the line, he said nothing untoward to you. According to you, and even according to your father. It wasn't until after you made the phone call, according to you, that he put his hand up in your face and refused to talk. According to you, and even according to your father. It wasn't until after you made the phone call, according to you,
Whoa, that's a
that
weird
he put
cut.
his hand up in your face and refused to talk to you. And he doesn't have to talk to you. That's what you go to therapy for. His responsibility is to give you a ticket, to say quiet, and to say license, registration. I am giving you a ticket for speeding. I'm speaking.
Fluff G, Bob, you
Now
should
you're
not
not so nervous
get
anymore.
in
You're
trouble for
interrupting
it.
the judge.
But maybe.
I'm giving you a ticket for speeding. You were going 58 miles in a 40-hour zone. Here is your ticket. You can respond to it. You can plead guilty. You can plead not guilty. That's it. Other than that, he has to say...
What's going on with this cop's neck? Am I the only guy that sees, like, this is weird? Like, is his neck bulging out to one side? Sorry, I'm going to back it up just a second to look at it. Every time I look at this guy, his neck looks weird.
After you made the phone call, according to you.
Hopefully, Ryan Burns isn't offended that I'm making fun of people with weird necks.
That he put his hand
Look
up
at
in
it.
your face
Look at
and
it.
refused to talk.
Like, is he swole or is he, like, is there a problem here? I don't, you guys can't see my finger pointing at his screen. This whole, I can't.
According to you, and even according to your father, it wasn't until after you made the phone call, according to you, that he put his hand up in your face and refused to talk to you. And he doesn't have to talk to you. That's what you go to therapy for. His responsibility is to give you a ticket, to say quiet, and to say license, registration. I am giving you a ticket for speeding. I'm speaking. Now you're not so nervous anymore. You're interrupting the judge. I'm giving you a ticket for speeding. You were going 58 miles in a 40-hour zone. Here is your ticket. You can respond to it. You can plead guilty. You can plead not guilty. That's it. Other than that, he has to say diddly squat to you. So he acts totally professionally.
One child
License,
standing on another
registration,
shoulder.
proof of insurance. Thank you very much. Have a seat in your car. You don't like it? You go home, you pick up the phone, you call your...
I will say, though, this is the first cop in the history of the earth that doesn't want to talk to the to the defendant, right? That doesn't want to talk to the perpetrator, we'll say. Kinda seems to be one, Captain Wrong think. Cop looks like the main character in Wolfenstein. Give that man a chain gun and he will put Hitler down. Oh, okay, sorry.
Therapist and you say, I had a very bad day today. I need an appointment. I need to vent for an hour. You don't write a letter to his superiors. Now, my question to you, sir, is you've been very quiet. The reason I started with her first is because what's the point in listening to you? I wanted to find out what she was complaining about.
Yeah, sure.
Now, you're suing her for
Good.
$5,000.
I'm glad you're good,
I
buddy.
want to know what you're going to do with this $5,000 if you get it.
I really hadn't had any plans for that yet. What I wanted to ask you, or what I wanted to tell you earlier, is
what is the relevance of what you're going to do with the damages you suffered? He suffered, like, if I'm his lawyer, he suffered damages to his professional reputation. Someone tried to damage his employment. It might impact his advances, having these letters in his file. You know, this is nonsense. What are you going to do with your $5,000? I don't know. Hookers and blow, right? I'm going to go buy a bunch of jewelry and they're going to give me hookers and blow. I read about a case like that. As a cop's daughter, he doesn't get to go to accidentally shoot her because the cell phone looked like a gun. So why bother talking to her? Yeah, here comes the butt. Here comes the butt.
that what she put in the letter obviously is...
I was going to use the $5,000 to fund an orphanage for puppies.
Completely untrue, and I have proof of that. I have a tape recording of the conversation that occurred between Miss Davis and myself. What she has told her father, what she has told you, and what she has told the station is completely untrue.
Oh, I would like to hear that. You mean it's even worse?
Can I respond to
Well,
that?
Absolutely not.
So what's on the tape and what you've read in the letter is night and day.
All right, here we go.
Afternoon. I'm Officer Robinson with LAPD. Three things. The first one is I got your speed here on Wilbur with a laser at 58. Your speed is 40. And then I also noticed that your left brake light is out. You put on the brakes on the phone behind you. Do you have your license with you?
He said three things, and that was two. Objection.
Do you have a transcript?
Yes, I do.
Can I see the transcript,
Yes, you
please?
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
First of all, I had no clue that he had this. This is the first.
Now, what's funny is in like in a civil case, like a real one, she would have to bring, like, he would have to inform her. She would have a right to the discovery here. You can't just bring it to the, oh, by the way, I got this recording. Don't worry. You know, no, there's no way they can challenge that. But, but it is, for this, man, this looks like some sweet justice is about to rain down.
And he has control to start, stop, and alter any part of this tape.
I want to read what you say. I mean, that's your voice, right? He didn't get somebody to dub your voice.
No, I'm saying, but
Good.
he has the option as his recorder to...
Quiet. Initially, when he said, do you have your license with you? You know what you responded to him? I do, which I heard there. Oh, wow. My dad's a policeman, too, and I'm having the worst time of all.
Oh, wow.
With my finals, I don't know if this matters at all. My dad works with you. Oh, Miss Davis, do you live on Brimer? Yes. Who is your father?
Whoa. Whoa. Is it back? Okay. Okay. My internet like completely disconnected. I'm getting all those messages back. Just a second. I'll back the video up. Just a second here. Sorry. I started getting angry beeps. Angry beeps. So let's go back. I'll go back to here. Is this far enough back? Is this far enough back? That was different than normal. That was not like a lag spike. I think my internet actually disconnected there because it went all the way down. It went all the way down. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, what am I sorry for? I didn't do it. About the street the defendant lives on. That's where we lost you. Do you need to consent to record people on audio video when they're interacting with you? It really depends on the state. Really depends on the state. Okay. She's at the top of the transcript. All right.
Oh, Miss Davis, do you live on Brimer? Yes. Who is your father? Sergeant Davis. He works...
Is this good, guys? My internet provider is Charter, by the way. Since all right, is this the right spot? Angry Beeps is my favorite house band. This is good. Okay, all right, let's get back into it.
Works for Valley Traffic. He's a sergeant too. Is he a motorcycle officer? Yes, he is. What's his first name? You say Jim Davis, officer. Yeah, your dad's retired. I know who your dad is, but he's retired. It doesn't matter whether he's working or retired. You're responsible for your own driving. You say your vehicle is registered. What year is it? It's a 95. All right. Wait. All right. He says to you, wait right here. I'll be right with you. And then you say to him, my dad wants to talk to you for a second. I'm not going to talk and handle your phone. Why don't you go ahead and wait over there by your vehicle or in your vehicle?
Can I add that he put his hand in my face and said, I'm not talking to your dad, I'm not talking to you, go to your vehicle?
I'm holding a ticket book in my left hand.
Just a second, so what?
And a pen in my
Just
right.
a minute, so...
You had your ticket book
listen to
and a
me.
pen.
So what?
To me, a man in uniform, someone who works for the Los Angeles Police Department, should not be putting a hand in my face.
Apparently, she missed the LAPD talk to the hand training movement that happened after the 1992 riots in Los Angeles. Let's be real here. Everybody knows about the talk to the hand training. This is how we dealt with rioters, right? Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. You can't loot that TV? Talk to the hand. What should he be putting on your face? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Maddie P. So the recording, the one-party recording, some of that is recording and some of that is actually wire transmission intercepts. That's a different thing. Like intercepting communications and recording a communication that you're party to in person are two different things. So if you've got specific states, message me. We can talk about it outside of this. You would have made her bribe you with unmentionables. Well. All right. Here we go. I dislike everything about her too. But I also dislike just about everything about Judge Judy as well.
You're a big baby.
No.
You're a big baby. I don't know how many times your father's gotten you out of scrapes before. This time,
this had
he
nothing
couldn't,
to do
and you
with the
got
citation,
annoyed,
though.
and so did he.
This had nothing to do with the citation.
Listen to me. Can't you get this through your head? He did nothing wrong. You did. First you was...
Christina Aguilera's father did nothing wrong. Don King got a much different version of the talk to the hand technique from the LAPD. I bet he did.
Speeding, and then you tried to get out of the ticket by telling him that your father was a police officer. You did something wrong. And then when you got the ticket anyway, you wrote a letter, and your father, maybe because he has nothing better to do, and your mother, I don't know what she does, participated in authoring this letter, which is going to sit in his personnel file, and it's wrong. And you owe him an apology. So stop defending your behavior. You owe him an apology.
Because
and
I didn't write the letter for the citation. He's doing this for retaliation for personal gain. He's suing me for $5,000 because I'm expressing my feelings to the department about how he lacks...
You've been living in L.A. too long.
No, actually,
I think you ought to go live someplace else. You've been living in L.A. too long.
Actually,
now I want you to be. Now I want you to be quiet because I'm speaking. For somebody who's nervous, you talk pretty well. So I want you to be quiet. My question to you, officer, it's worse than what I thought because she tried to influence you through her father immediately on being stopped. It wasn't later on, as she has indicated, but it was immediate.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What I'm asking you, Officer Robinson, is you're suing her for $5,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
She's got a counterclaim, ridiculous counterclaim, because for $5,000, punitive damages and emotional distress due to malicious prosecution.
And
She's operating in La La Land someplace.
I have copies.
Yeah, by the way, Hamiltonberger raises an interesting question, or raises an interesting point. First Amendment. There's nothing wrong with what she did to try and influence him to not give her a ticket. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with using every advantage you can to get out of a ticket. That's not illegal, right? Like trading sexual favors or offering money, offering something of value. Obviously, those things are incorrect and illegal. But saying, you know, my dad's a cop. Maybe you don't want to give me a ticket. That's fine. That's fine. Writing the letter, stepping over the line. Depending on what she said in the letter, if she gave a truthful account of what happened. And maybe they need to look into department policy as to why those letters will stay on his record, because if they're ridiculous, they should be thrown out. I said sexual favors are not legal and not okay. All right, here we go.
All of my medical and psychiatric things
Listen
right
to
here
me.
when you're...
Listen, shh. Hey, quiet. You were wrong. Get it through your head. Madam,
I'm not
you
talking
were
about
wrong.
the citation.
Your counterclaim is
I
dismissed.
agree.
All I'm asking
I
you
agree with the
is,
citation.
What do you plan on doing with the $5,000?
Buff G Bob, but isn't her father's ability to affect his career something of value? Like, maybe, but her saying, look, my father's a cop, you know, maybe you don't want to give me a ticket. That's not her saying anything about, that's not her acting on behalf of her father. You know, her father acting to impact his career might be a problem, but her doing it, I don't know. Tess, what did you just link? It's hard for me to get out of tickets because you can't see my legs when I'm sitting in the driver's side of a car. The only reason I'm a cop is because of exchanging sexual favors for reduced penalties. Well, I'm glad you're operating under a pseudonym then. All right, here we go. Section 1983, claim investigating the common practices of a department. Oh, okay.
$1,000. Are you planning on keeping it, or is there a charitable organization through the LAPD?
Get bent, Judge Judy. He should keep it. He should go to the mall and play Tekken.
That you would like to donate this money to. If I give you the money, now that I've told her she is, whether she gets it or not, 150% out of line. She had no right to write the letter. He had no right to participate in writing the letter. He should have asked the same questions I did. He should have known that his daughter did the wrong thing by bringing up his name when she got stopped for a ticket. Maybe her mother doesn't understand enough to tell her that she did the wrong thing, to encourage this kind of irresponsible behavior. But I'm going to ask you, what do you want to do with the money?
Well, I think I would like to donate to the Police Memorial Foundation.
Oh, come on.
I'm entering a judgment for $5,000.
I'd like to donate to the Police Memorial Foundation. $8. Take the other $4,992, and I'm going to go buy an Orange Julius, and I'm going to sit at the Tekken machine for 4 days. Cats, you have not missed it. It's still going. Tekken Tag Tournament 1. That's the Tekken that I'm talking about, buddy.
But since I believe that Ms. Davis maligned the police department as well as you, $2,500 of that will go to the LAPD Memorial Foundation, $2,500 to you. Thank you very much. That's all. Step out.
Wait a minute. Did she just order $2,500 to the Memorial Foundation and then $2,500 to them? What pretend world are we in? Oh my goodness. The photocopier one. No, you have not missed the photocopier one. Look, he has a bulging neck. He's an honest, humble man. Humble man. All right, let's see this one. Oh, we got Judge Joe Brown. Someone asked for Judge Joe Brown. Let's see what happens here. Unless it's false advertising. This one starts partly in. Okay. Would you tell a judge to get bent? Depends on the timing in the case. All right. All right. Let's do this. Let's get down with Judge Joe Brown. Thank F. I would have lost my mind. Cheers. Cheers to you, buddy. I'm glad you can make it. We'll do that one in just a minute here. So this is a Judge Judy type of case. A case that reminds me of Judge Judy. A case I wish Judge Judy presided over. Broaden your horizons and enjoy. Here comes Judge Joe Brown. What happened to Judge Miles Lane? Former wrestling referee turned judge inexplicably. Where'd he go? All right, here we go, guys.
A woman claims to be ripped off twice when her stepmom steals her ID. Floating Dr. Tatiana Holmes is suing her stepmother for credit card charges. Defendant Katisha Holmes says she hasn't seen the plaintiff for years. Now, here's Judge Joe Brown.
Miss Tatiana Holmes, you're 22, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You're suing your 38-year-old stepmother.
Can we talk for a minute about the weird demographics of TV judges? Like, Judge Joe Brown is black, and he immediately has, like, I don't know. Is there a representative sample of, like, the race of the plaintiffs and defendants in the cases relative to the race of the respective daytime TV judge? Because I have a feeling there's a demographic connection here, because that's how TV works, right? Not like, obviously there's no legal standard for this, but that's just how TV works. Celebrity Deathmatch is where Mills Lane went. Yes, Mills Lane. You watch Celebrity Deathmatch after this. Here we go. Anyway, it's interesting. So the other one, the America's Court one, the first one of these that I did, Judge Joe Brown's plaintiffs are 99.9% black. And then I did the America's Court, which of course has a black judge, and the plaintiff in that case was black as well. And like, it's interesting because how you're structuring a show is part marketing, right? But it's not reflective of like a judge's reality. A judge has no control over who comes in front of them, but these TV shows, they do. I just think it's interesting. If your audience is where you get your plaintiffs from, the audience probably watches a judge of their own race. Yeah, and like, there's lots of reasons. There's nothing wrong with it. I found it, it was a fleeting thought that I found interesting. Okay, here we go.
Miss Katisha Holmes, You went to secure credit and you discovered that unbeknownst to you, there had been a credit card taken out in your name using your social...
There's no Asian judges as far as I know. It's for Asian people TV shows. This guy talks at the speed of Glacier. Wow. Where's my judge of Inuit descent? I demand representation.
Social Security number.
My Social Security number, yes, sir.
Subsequent to that, you discovered that a cell phone account had been opened using the name of the defendant in this case and your Social Security number when you were...
He sounds like he's doing like a bad Cosby impression. Like, a cell phone account has been opened in your name to do the defendant of this proper... Oh my goodness. Yeah, Judge Ito was the Asian judge. He should have gone into daytime TV after that disaster. Let's see. How far up the ladder do I need to climb before I'm considered justice and not esquire? I think you gotta get appointed. Joe Brown is playing a character. Man, it's a slow talking character. Sorry. Thanks for the compliment on the Cosby impression. It sounds like Cosby accidentally drank his own drink. You see here we got problems. All right, here we go.
17.
Yes, sir.
You've been sued. Your wages are being garnished.
Yes, sir.
The defense from stepmother Holmes is that the plaintiff is somehow jealous that, as she characterizes it, she married the plaintiff's mother's ex, and she's now the, quote, cleanup woman. You first, please.
His sentences take so long. I honestly forgot what he said at the beginning of the sentence by the time he got to the end. Ignore the pill, you must acquit. Bill is a worse rhyme than if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Yeah, there wasn't enough live rap battles in the Cosby case for him to prevail. Oh my gosh. He speaks in life sentences. Thank you, sir. That was really... That's a funny joke, man. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Oh. Okay. All right. Sorry. Here we go.
In August of 2008, I was going to switch over cell phone companies. I was currently with Sprint, and found out from T-Mobile that there was already an account for 2 cell phones under my Social Security number, which I then found out was under the defendant's name, Ketisha Holmes. It's to the point where my Social Security number doesn't belong to me anymore. Her personal information was attached to it. I've had eviction notices on my door. I've been borrowing money from my mother. She lives in Norfolk, Virginia. I certainly did not give her permission. I haven't spoken with Ketisha in 2 years since the T-Mobile incident. That's the last time I've seen her or my father. I don't have a relationship with either one of them. When I first met her, I thought she was a wonderful person, but until this situation, I...
Show some respect. Cosby is the greatest fighter of our generation. 35 straight KOs before he took an L. Plus, I hear he always brought the drinks. Oh, man. My favorite Cosby meme is the one where that he knows how to knock out Ronda Rousey. Oh, that was before Ronda Rousey started getting knocked out by everybody. His slow talk is how he passed the book. He forgot what they asked him. They forgot. Yeah, they forgot what they asked him. Oh my gosh. Okay.
See that there's a lot of
I would really
things.
suggest, ma'am, that you be polite, maintain proper decorum. You
Yes,
do
Your
not
Honor.
have the floor.
Basically, I'm very stressed out about this situation. For the past 3 months since December, it feels like I've literally been working
You need
for
a
nothing.
new social security number.
Yes. Did you want to see the paperwork? I have paperwork
Yes,
from.
please pass all
from,
that up if you would. You've
the
given me
case
a
from
sworn
last
accounting,
year.
but I'm anxious to see the additional documentation.
I'm convinced that he talks so slow that he doesn't have the time to actually stop them when they're talking over him.
I also have a billing statement that went to her address at the time where she was staying in 2006.
That's a good question,
also
Tess.
the
I'll
lawyer
think
fee
about
that
it.
I paid, I had to retain a lawyer. It's just been a very, very stressful time.
Look at that. Look at that attorney solicitation. I've learned that you may have been the victim of an incident. I love the lawyer letters that go out. Okay. Mom's defense is going to be, but I didn't, with nothing else. Yeah, it's like, you know what's funny about the Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm, Misha Tate thing is like, when I was a kid, they had these little toys and they were like these little monster men or whatever. And on their chest, they had a thing that was black until you rubbed on it a little bit. And then the heat from your thumb would heat it up and you'd see what element they had. And it was a rock, paper, scissors game. So you'd put like the two monsters were supposed to fight each other, but you didn't know which element they possessed. And so then you'd rub them and then you'd see which one won. I mean, was the way like they intended you to play with them. Obviously, no kid actually did this because that's ridiculous. But that's like, it's like Ronda Rousey gets just annihilated by Holly Holm. Holly Holm gets the pants beaten off of her by Misha Tate. But Ronda Rousey just whoops Misha Tate every time. It's it's fantastic. Fantastic. And props to Misha Tate in that second fight, I think it was, with Ronda Rousey, where her arm goes into geometric angles that shouldn't exist. Shouldn't exist. All right. Battle Beasts. Yes, you know it, man. I love those things. They were awesome. They're like army men, but cooler. All right.
Time for me.
I imagine it just might be. All right,
Yes,
you made out a basic
Philip
case.
Saul.
Let's go to the defendant. Now, ma'am, you have the floor.
Well, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Okay. I gotta back it up, guys. The lady behind the defendant is wearing way too low a cut of shirt for court. Like, what is happening? What is happening back here? When you see that, this is ridiculous. In your opinion, does a bailiff wearing a skirt provide a disadvantage in the event of a courtroom altercation? Potentially. Depends if they've got hot pants on under the skirt. Or if the skirt is actually a kilt and they're also subsequently wielding a broadsword. All right, here we go.
I haven't seen Tatiana for 3 years. I mean, come on.
Wait.
It's like...
Wait, where'd it go?
The cell phone deal, we dealt with it in our local court. It's been said. It's over with.
What do
Now
you
all
mean
of a
it's
sudden...
over with, no problem?
Where'd it go?
Well, good
Look at
morning,
that.
Your
Guys, that is not an acceptable courtroom attire for that woman. What is happening? No, it's not a hallucination. There it is. That is not okay. Not good. Not good. Anyway, you guys see who I'm talking about. The chick with the glasses over her shoulder there should be wearing a way higher shirt than that. Okay. I think they fixed it. Like, the cameraman noticed, like, oh, no, we don't want this on the screen. Because if you notice in the next scene, you can't see it as well. So here we go.
Honor.
Good
I
morning.
had no idea about
Look at
none of
that!
this credit card business.
1 second later, and they have her completely obscured. Yeah, that was not the image they wanted for this show.
I haven't seen Tatiana for 3 years. I mean, come on. It's like the cell phone deal, we dealt with it in our local court. It's been said, it's over with. Now
What do you
all of a
mean it's
sudden,
over with, no problem?
I have documentation.
She didn't say no
where
problem, Judge.
The charge that I was charged as identity theft was reduced to disorderly conduct due to her not coming to any of the court
The
appearances.
matter was
I
reset
hear you,
on
Gats,
your
Gats.
initiative 22 times when on a day she did not receive communicated notice of the resetting. It was dismissed on reduction on the criminal matter. So
I wrote
you
a
pled
statement.
guilty to malicious mischief.
No, I don't. No.
Well, what happened then?
No, what I'm saying is she gave her verbal permission for using her social security number for the cell phone.
Wait. Why would she do that? You haven't seen her
Because
in
she
3
was living,
years.
she was living with
You
us.
have not seen her, lady, in 3 years
No,
since she
sir.
has been 18 years old.
Your
You
Honor,
haven't seen her.
both me and her father did not have good credit at the time, but we needed cell phones so that we could stay in contact with each other. When we asked Tatiana, is it okay? Because she
That's
was living...
cell phones. I'm
because she
going
was-
back to the credit card fraud with Capital One.
Your Honor, I did not do such a thing, and I would still tell the same if the
How do we
investigator
get
asked
your
me.
particulars on the account?
I have no idea,
Your
and I
name.
explained that.
The charges that were developed during the course of an investigation
And-
reflect places that you patronized. How is it that that occurs?
Your Honor, I have no idea.
You're a liar.
I didn't do it. It's the Shaggy defense. It wasn't me. Madam Psychosis, you did. You called it absolutely. Someone woke up Joe Brown. Now get him a coffee. All right. All right, let's keep going.
What Tatiana is going through.
You're a criminal.
You're a
No,
criminal.
Your Honor, I'm not a criminal.
I see wire fraud, federal wire fraud. I see federal mail fraud, bank fraud.
Okay. Let's be careful here, Judge Joe Brown. Because if you're actually making factual statements about this woman committing crimes and she's not convicted of those crimes, that might be defamation. Goodness gracious. I didn't do such a thing. I go with prove it, homie. That's what I say to prosecutors all the time.
Social Security fraud. I see a number of other things that somebody...
Let's see. Okay, so sorry, Gats sent me a picture real quick. I'm gonna take a look at it, and if it's hilarious, I'll post it up here. Oh, it says it's not there. Did I not type? Oh wait, I missed a T. Just a second. Sorry. Zoinks! Come on. Come on. Come on. Your Imgur link is taking a long time to load, buddy, so I'm going to let it load in the background. Here we go. Sorry. His face is literally that.
in your state might be interested in prosecuting, and I think this young lady needs a copy of the entire tape, which this arbitration proceeding will supply. You may be interested to know. Let's see.
Look at this
She's
judge.
Jealous
He is
because you
chill.
married her father.
It's clear she is.
How would she possibly be jealous
Because
of you?
she's verbally, not of me.
Why would she be jealous for your broke, nefarious, low-character, slimy, backstabbing, reprobate reject from hell? You got set up here to...
Oh, Man, I'm immediately a Joe Brown fan. That insult took longer. That insult took longer than the formation of Hawaii. But it was worth it. Oh. Can we get a replay? Absolutely. Let me go back 45 seconds for the beginning of that insult.
He's verbally not of me.
Why would she be jealous for your broke, nefarious, low-character, slimy, backstabbing, reprobate reject from hell? You got set up here to prey on your stepdaughter. What do you call yourself, Cinderella's stepmama or something?
No.
Well, what kind of low-class character do you define yourself as?
I am not a low-class character.
I'm going to ask, is your true name, by the way, Katisha Holmes?
Yes, it is.
Your date of birth is 1971?
Yes, it is.
Very good. And you're claiming right here that in one instance you did, in fact, use her Social Security number because you say she told you you could.
She did.
Well, and then the other one on the Capital One account, what's that about?
That's why the charges from the first account was dropped, because they did find out she did give the verbal agreement. It was dropped or reduced to disorderly conduct.
Reduced is not dropped. And you entered a plea of guilty, by the way, which is conclusive. You ever been to the to jail before?
Yeah.
I figured you had. Probably friends down there. Well, guess what? I think you need to meet some of the inhabitants. You ever been to jail before? I figured you had.
It's like it's like someone took Foghorn Leghorn and slowed him down 20% and dropped the racism. All right. Okay.
Inhabitants.
Wow.
Wow. You low creature. How can you even have a smirk and a laugh?
You low creature.
After what you did
It's
to this
clear.
woman?
She has always expressed that she didn't care for me because her parents divorced.
Seriously, is the woman behind the defendant, are her knees pushing out her shirt? Because that cleavage is unreasonably low. Like, it's awkward. I missed on purpose because I really want you to meet my friend Tiny in jail. Don't you dare. It wasn't Tiny. It wasn't Tiny. It was Tyrone. Because you are quoting Steven Seagal in On Deadly Ground. Don't you Steven Seagal me, Hamilton Burger. Don't you Steven Seagal me in the middle of my own live stream. Oh no. Gats. Is that Amy Schumer? Is that Amy Schumer? Okay, guys, we have an emergency situation here. Gats sent me the picture of the actor playing behind here. So I need a new browser page for you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, wait. Just a second. Wow. Who's that behind her? Look at that. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Do you guys see it now? But who is behind? So you're saying the person behind Amy Schumer? Yeah, who's the chick behind Amy Schumer? Is that who you're talking about? A woman's so unfunny that they changed the way Netflix ranks movies. Yeah, is that does look like Portia de Rossi. That's true. Is that who it is? Gosh, that's amazing. Daytime talk shows are all about the sizzle reel. You think that's Angelina Jolie? That could be her, I guess. That could be her. Man, that's weird. That's creeping me out. I don't know what to do with this. That Amy Schumer face is just, oh, it's just horrible. I gotta get rid of it. I gotta get rid of it. Oh, I forgot the S. So I actually labeled this as Amy Schumer. Just prove we need to nuke LA. All right, let's see what Joe Brown has to say about this low rent reprobate ratchet.
You pathetic, pitiful excuse for a human. I represented or prosecuted a locked up rapist, murderers, thieves, arsonists, embezzlers, and other scumbags, and you certainly qualify for being in their company. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. There are actually two matters here. They're interlocked, so here's what we're going to do. On the first matter, the matter involving the credit card, when you add the interest on there, there's $1,501.97. Let's make that $1,500. On top of that, we're going to add $3,500 in punitive damages.
Yeah.
The matter involving the Capital One card, as near as I can construe them without getting into the interest that has accrued, it's somewhere around $2,800, $2,900. To be safe, I'm going to make that another $1,500 and another $3,500 punitive damages.
Isn't that a bit much?
Holy Jack, it ain't nearly enough for you. You ought to get some yield. But the justice system is proud, and they'll probably let you go with a slap on the hand and nothing. And I hope they jack you up or somebody gets you. That'll be your award.
The defendant gets an earful. She wanted to play dumb on that.
Oh, Judge Joe Brown. That was fantastic. Dude, judges usually just roast the defendant mercilessly at the end of trial. Some of them do. Oddly enough, some of them do. But it's usually less funny because judges typically aren't funny people. Oh, wow. Judge Joe Brown. All right, I'm going to find the, let me find the photocopier. Oh, excuse me. Oh, goodness. All right. All right. What does it sound like when a judge roasts someone? Imagine someone just ripping them apart, but being not funny about it. Like, it sounds so serious. See you later, Beverly. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yes. Okay, so a little bit of background on this photocopier case. This is a dramatic reenactment by the New York Times of a transcript of a deposition. So every word that you will see coming up actually happened in a deposition. Just these guys weren't the guys to say it. Let me pull it up here. All right. So this is this is a couple minutes. I have not seen this, but Gats has certainly talked it up. Did you ever review the Rick and Morty redux of the Georgia case? I've not reviewed that on stream at all, but I have watched it. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, excuse me. It is getting late, guys. Came away from this a fan of Joe Brown. Me too, man. He's like an ent. Takes a while to get going. But when he does, it's devastating. All right, here we go. Yeah, casual hands on the head. You are the worst reprobate nonsense scumbag scheming lion. Okay, guys. Good morning, Rajveer. How's it going over in your neck of the woods? Neck of the woods being your side of the pond. The band Chicago. Peter Cetera with the legendary vocals. All right, guys. I'm gonna kick this into gear here. Full disclosure, I've watched like the first minute of this. That's it, though. In 2010, the Cuyahoga County Recorder's Office in Ohio was sued when it decided to charge $2 per page for photocopies of public documents. The following scene is a deposition from that court case. The dialogue is presented verbatim.
Your computer system onto the master CD is a device within the recorder's office. Is that correct, as opposed to being in some other building somewhere?
Yes.
During your tenure in the computer department at the recorder's office, has a recorder's office had photocopying machines?
Objection.
Any photocopying machine.
Okay. So you think Landry was pull something like this? I don't know. We'll have to see. So a bit of preface on depositions. If you guys don't know what a deposition is, let me law-splain that to you or whatever. A deposition is an under oath testimony. It is an examination by one lawyer, typically opposed to the party being deposed. So a defendant would be deposed by a plaintiff's attorney, or like a defendant's friend who's going to offer testimony at trial would be deposed by a plaintiff's attorney. It is offered under oath. There is no judge in the room to rule on the objections. So you can make objections in a deposition. However, the deponent has to answer the question anyway. It's really, really, really rare to have a question fall outside the scope of the deposition. So you raise objections all day, but they still have to answer. Okay? So bear that in mind as you're watching this, that this guy has to answer the question. He has to. If he doesn't, he might be in contempt of court. Is the questioning lawyer one of the actors from Mr. Show? I don't know. But he is an actor. So here we go. Here we go.
When you say photocopying machine, what do you mean?
Let me make sure I understand your question. You don't have an understanding of what a photocopying machine is?
No, I want to make sure that I answer your question correctly.
Dave, I'll object to the tone of the question. You make it sound like it's unbelievable to you that he wouldn't know what the definition of a photocopy machine is.
I didn't ask him to define it. I asked him if he had any.
When you say photocopying machine, what do you mean?
Let me be clear. The term photocopying machine is so ambiguous that you can't picture in your mind what a photocopying machine is in an office setting.
I just want to make sure I answer your question correctly.
Well, we'll find out. If you can say yes or no, I can do follow-ups. But it seems if you really don't know in an office setting what a photocopying machine is, I'd like the Ohio Supreme Court to hear you say so.
I just want to make sure I answer your question correctly.
There's different types of photocopiers, Dave.
You're speaking instead of... You're not under oath. This guy is.
I understand that, but I understand what his objection is.
This is in
You want him
2010.
to answer the question. I don't think it's fair.
It's not fair?
It's not a fair question. A photocopy machine can be a machine that uses photostatic technology, that uses xerographic technology.
Okay. Sorry. Yes, Philip. It could be photostatic technology, xenographic technology. What else has he got?
That uses scanning technology.
I don't care what kind of technology it uses. Has your offices... We don't have technocrats on the Ohio Supreme Court. We've got people like me, general guys or gals. I'm not really very interested in what the technology element of it is. I want to know.
That's what's at issue in the case, Dave.
Not in my judgment. Do you have photocopying
Yes,
machines
YouTube is
at
gay.
the recorder's office? If you don't know what that means in an office setting, please tell the court you don't know what that means in an office setting to have a photocopying machine.
Eslokehe says, what's the point of this? Is there a time limit they are trying to reach? Yeah, you can't depose someone for an unreasonable amount of time. So maybe, but a deposition could be, I mean, hours and hours and hours long. So, I mean, yes and no, but every hour costs the other side money, right? Okay, here we go. Could you just ask, have you ever copied a document? If so, how? Well, all sorts of ways. Have you ever copied a document? No, I haven't copied a document because the machine would have done it, right? They deposed Bill Gates for like 12 hours. Yeah, the depositions can go on a very long time. Reasonableness is really flexible depending on the subject.
I would like to answer your question to the best of my ability.
I'm asking you to answer that.
So if you could explain that.
Imagine if you had to depose Judge Joe Brown. I'd call my secretary, who's me, and tell me to clear my schedule. Okay, sorry.
What you mean by...
I'm not going to do that because I want to establish on the record that you really don't know what it is. I want to establish that. Now, do you know what it is or do you not know what it is? Do you understand what that term means in common parlance or not?
Common parlance?
Common language.
I'm sorry. I didn't know what that meant. I understand that there are photocopying machines, and there are different types of them, just like there are different
any
cars.
in the recorder's
Some of them run
office?
under gas power, some of them under electric power.
Under gas power!
You could help me out in explaining what you mean by photocopying
That's
machine.
a great point.
Instead of trying to make me feel stupid.
If you feel stupid, it's not because I'm making you feel that way.
Objection! I have self-confidence, and I have no problem.
I don't think you're stupid.
I think I don't have any problem answering the question.
I think you're playing games with me.
Dave, the word photocopying is at issue in this case. And you're asking him whether something is or isn't a photocopy machine, which is a legal conclusion.
This isn't
Yes,
a
Captain
patent
Wrongface.
case. There's no statute that defines where I'm asking him to define technology for me. I'm asking. I want to find out from a layperson's perspective, not from an engineer's perspective, not from...
You got to get a 4-stroke printer. Photocopier, because you can't be mixing gas every time you got to make a copy. You can't do that. Oil and gas mixes. Plus, could you imagine the disaster of an office setting where they got to mix oil and gas for a 2-stroke engine? It's like, no.
tradition's perspective, but from... I have an idea. How about this? Have you ever heard the term photocopier or photocopy used in the recorder's office by anybody?
Photocopy? I'm sure in the time I've been there, someone has used the term.
And have you ever heard them use it in referencing a particular device or machine within the recorder's office? By way of example, can you photocopy that for me? That's an example of office parlance.
That particular terminology I've not witnessed.
What was the context that you heard the term photocopy used in the recorder's office?
I'm sure it's been used. I didn't say I remembered a specific instance.
All right. But you have a general understanding that people have used the term photocopy within the recorder's office in terms of something that could be done there. Is that true?
I'm sure it's been used. I don't remember a specific instance or how it was used. I'm sure it's been used.
And is it fair to say that it's been used in terms of being able to copy one piece of paper onto another piece of paper using a machine? No? Not sure of that?
I'm sure it's been used. I don't recall a specific instance in which it was.
Do you have a secretary?
No.
Does anybody there have a secretary?
Yes.
Have you ever heard a secretary use the term photocopy?
No.
Have you ever? Do you have machines there? Or I can put it...
Lord Stewie asks, is the guy being deposed just being contrary? Is he genuinely that stupid? I think he's being contrary in the real version of this. Obviously, in the dramatized version, he's cast as a meek idiot, but I think in the real version, he's being contrary. Gets. The real question is this: if Landry has a 2-stroke or 4-stroke copy machine, would he have to blow into it before he used it? Only if he was sitting on top of it. So if he was photocopying his own buttocks, then he would have to blow into the interlock device. But otherwise, he'd probably just have someone else blow into it for him. Okay, here we go. Why doesn't the lawyer just define what he means by copying machine? Because if he makes too specific of a definition, the guy will just say no. Remember that these depositions they're extremely hostile, and everything you say in deposition, I guess don't remember this if you don't know, but everything you say in deposition is under oath and therefore makes your later testimony impeachable by what you say. So if he says something here in reaction to a question that's phrased by the lawyer poorly, but he gives the lawyer some credit and says, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and answer that. And then on the stand, a different lawyer asks him the same question, but with different terminology that is more precise. And he answers that question in the no, but he answered this question in the yes, or vice versa. They can then use that to impeach him and attack his credibility. So you actually, like, the way the guy is acting is probably how you generally want to act in one of these things. Depositions are extremely hostile. They tend to be very long, and they're made to intimidate the deposed. That's part of the game. So this guy is actually acting in the way you want him to. Hamilton Burger, I did? How did I steal your thunder, buddy? Just ask Gawker how jokes go over in depositions. Okay, here we go.
In a paper document, push a button or two, and out will come copies of that paper document, also on paper. Do you have such a machine?
Yes, sir.
What do you call that machine?
Xerox.
Oh, poor Xerox. Poor Xerox. Oh, Tess, what's that term? What's the term for what happened to Xerox? It's when a brand name becomes like associated with an action that it's like a saturation thing. I can't remember. Oh, goodness. He nailed it. Nailed it. Genericization, yes. Sorry, I'm a couple drinks in and And that was the last funny thing the New York Times ever created. Eponym. I think genericide is the term that we use for when a trademark gets so commonly used, like Kleenex or Xerox, that they can no longer trademark their own product. They can't enforce the trademark on their own product because everybody says Xerox for copies, stuff like that. I won't explain what happened when Gawker made a joke and it came out in court in this video, because in this video, you know, I haven't researched that actually. Happened to shredded wheat also. Oh, rude. Do this one. Okay. So it's like a minute long, you said? I think. Let's see what we got here. Properties. All right. I'll see if this link works out right. Nope. Oh, there. No, I did it wrong. Just a second. It's because of how the previous link worked. I'll fix it. Just a second.
Don't nail me on that.
Okay. All right. Have you guys ever seen the video where the Texas deposition like breaks out into a fist fight? That is awesome. Awesome. There's a letter from Xerox to the New York Times about how they really don't like the term Xerox. They recommend the term photocopy instead. No, it's Dr. Richard R. Ape. It was on my end because the previous link had a truncated. It was u2.be instead of youtube.com, so it didn't like the prefix there. But okay, here we go. How to handle a tough deposition question.
Don't nail me on that.
Did you obtain prior approval from the association for that shed?
Actually, I'm assuming you people have gone to the files, the building files, and all the other necessary files. If you haven't, you're a fool. Actually, it was an accommodation that we spoke about, and we never made it. It was an accommodation, and we never made a formal application about it. And if you take exception to it, I'll put it back where it was, which is right on the killer's line. You want me to do that? I'll be glad to. Today, tomorrow, next week, that's where it was. It was on the survey. It's on the survey. And I gently removed it. Am I going to be punished for it? Good. I'll put it back.
Was that a yes or a no?
It was a fuck you. What's your question?
Oh, that was pretty good. Have you seen the response letter that someone in the Cleveland Browns organization sent in response to a cease and desist? No. Would you consider going over Marcus Lemonis' deposition case? He's a pretty big TV star. Pretends it never happened, and for what I get, it's a funny case. Maybe. I have no idea. You can always send me stuff, and I'll take a look at it. It was a F you. This guy, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Oh, gosh. Oh, let's see. Hold on, guys. Just a second. Just one moment. I'm doing something very... Oh, yeah. We're at 3 hours. Oh, my Lord. We need to trim this thing down. All right, guys. It's a good time to wrap it up, probably. I did not get to the case about the Cocky lawsuit. We're gonna open. I'll do a video on that at some point. I've been pulling the documents from Pacer, so I have all of them. Are you inclined to watch law movies with us? Maybe. I don't know how to do that on the channel without a copyright strike. If I can ask a quick tangent, what are your thoughts on tattoo wedding rings since you use a blue out of convenience? I don't like the idea of a tattoo wedding ring. Hey, thanks, FAL. Because, yes, Maddie P, we're going to do some Fighter Z and maybe some Inquisitor Martyr after that. I don't like the idea of a tattoo wedding ring. I think that there's, what if something happens? Like, what if your spouse dies? Like, that's a weird thing. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan. Did you ever see the movie Primal Fear? Man, a long time ago. I don't really remember it. So, anyway, guys, check Reddit. 30-second video showing why Hogan won. Okay, I'll pull that up and then that'll be the last thing here. Just a moment. Okay, so this must be the Gawker joke. How do you give back a tattooed engagement ring? Well, it isn't easy. You guys ever see Big Trouble in Little China? That's one of my favorite lines from that movie. When they go in and Egg Shen is up in the hole, up above them, like 12 feet up, and he shoots down the little grappling line to him. And he's like, Egg, how'd you get up there? Wasn't easy. Oh my goodness. Let's see. All right, here we go. Everyone's seen Big Trouble in Little China. When you're a boomer. Yeah. Maybe Silva Luca. I think so. He said in the interview that 5 was the lowest age Gawker would publish a sex tape. He was joking. All right, here we go.
Thank you. So you were joking in your deposition about newsworthiness, correct?
About the newsworthiness of what?
Child pornography. You were joking about child pornography, were you not?
Here's a let me give you guys some legal advice. In your deposition, don't joke about child pornography, because no matter how funny the joke is, the court won't find it funny. It won't find it funny. All right, guys. All right. Let's wrap this up. It's been 3 hours. I had no idea that this thing was 3 hours long. Thanks for letting me know. It's been a ton of fun. As always, thank you for joining me. And I'm going to go grab some sort of snack, and then I'm going to start a Twitch stream, play a little bit of games probably. Yeah, and transcripts don't capture nuance or tone. So, yeah, well, thanks, guys, again. And I enjoyed this very much. There's a whole bunch of new stuff coming. I am going on vacation again very soon, but I do have a computer, and I should have a better ability to do some videos than I was able to when I went to Florida. Also, I will be at the Polish Festival in Bremen, Texas. I think it's June 21st and 22nd. Or 22nd, 23rd. One of those two. If any of you are in Texas and are able to make it to the Bremen Polish Festival, come visit me. Tweet to me or something if you're in the area. I'd love to see you guys eat some sausage and pierogies and grab a drink or something. That would be a lot of fun. So if you're in that area, it's a great public event. Good time to come out. Have a good time. There's also a Rekieta Street in Bremont, Texas. So anyone who comes and visits, of course, I'll take a picture with us under the Bremont sign, or under the Rekieta Street sign in Bremont, Texas. I think that I've officially cemented myself as the most famous Rekieta that's alive currently. Yeah. So if you're able to come out, please do so. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Other than that, of course, I'll hopefully see some of you guys at a Road Rage coming up. Not at Dallas. I will not be at the Dallas Road Rage. I'll be just getting back from Texas when that Road Rage is going on, so that's not going to work for me. Heard the Bremont Polish Festival had a glass bottom so it could see the old Bremont Polish Festival. No downvotes when you aren't talking about Maddox. Yeah, they do come a couple days later, typically. I'm skeptical of pierogies existing. I think I don't know, there's got to be Rackets Road somewhere, but I think this is Rekieta Street. So anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. If you want to come pop in on Twitch, do so. I'm going to start with some Dragon Ball FighterZ, and then I'll probably switch to Inquisitor Martyr, depending on how tired I am. I just realized it's 2:15. And I've got some stuff to do tomorrow, but the twitching must occur. Works better if the festival is in fact a boat. This one is not. This is not a boat. So anyways, yes, smash the like button. Of course, share this stuff with your friends. Check me out on Patreon. All of the usual shilling that occurs on YouTube. Just pretend that I said it in a great Bill Cosby drugged up impression or an Elmo impression for your likeness. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. And of course, if there's content you want me to review, shoot me a tweet on Twitter. Yes, I do have a Twitter. It should be in the description of this video. If it's not, it's in the description of every other video, but I think it's twitter.com Rekieta Law. Is that it? Hold on. No, it's at Nick Rekieta. I'll throw that up in the chat for you. I can't even spell my own name. Just a second. That's the tweet. I just put it in the chat there. So definitely follow me on Twitter and tweet to me if you have any stuff. All right, guys. I'm dragging out this. This is the longest goodbye in history. Let me blank out the screen. Once I see it go blank on my end, we'll call it a night. Thank you always to everybody who did the super chats. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Have a good night, guys. Ben Honeycutt, the topic tonight is we're not talking about webcomics. Goodbye.